In our most innocent year of love, the Shen family's eldest daughter and I secretly tried to have sex countless times, but sadly, we never succeeded once. But at the very end, just as I was about to force my way in, I suddenly got a call from her mother. That was when I realized the time had come, so I faked my death and ran. I broke up with her, but after that, she became a completely different person. When it came to me, anyone who mentioned me was in trouble. She even forbade anyone in Jing City from sharing my full name. Until a class reunion 3 years later, I wandered into the most private room at an elite club. Seeing several women on the sofa, I quickly apologized and turned to leave. But then, the woman seated farthest inside curled her lips into a smile. She called out to me, "Baby, will you come over on your own, or do I have to drag you back?" The moment I heard that voice, my face went pale. I froze where I stood. Before I could react, Shen Buyu was already in front of me. She grabbed my wrist and yanked hard. I instantly lost my balance and fell straight into her. "What are you doing?" At that, she leaned close to my ear. "What do you think? What else can a woman do to a man?" After saying that, she saw me shudder. Then, as if doing me a favor, she released my wrist. "One game. If you win, I will let you go. If you lose, you will grant me one request." After a moment of silence, I glanced at the locked door. "What game?" "3 dice. We see who rolls the higher total. 1 round decides it all." "Are you kidding? I cannot beat you. You have to play. Whether you can beat me or not, you do not have a choice." I looked at the locked door again and reluctantly nodded. The truth was, my dice skills had all been taught by her, so no matter what, I could never beat her. Sure enough, I gave it everything I had and rolled to 6s. An A5. She rolled 3 6s. Seeing that, I clenched my fist and took a deep breath. "What do you want me to do?" Shen Buyu smiled. Before everyone, she made a shocking declaration. "Baby, I want you to be with me." As she spoke, she pointed at herself. Everyone's eyes widened, especially Wang Shanshan. Awkwardly, she poked Shen Buyu. "Buyu, this is just a first meeting misunderstanding." But Shen Buyu ignored her, waving her off, as she kept staring at me. "Well, will you date me?" "Sorry, I already have a girlfriend." At those words, Shen Buyu clenched her fist and gave a cold snort. "That is fine. I will have her undergo surgery and turn her into your brother. Then we'll see if she still dares show her face around you." Now I was truly panicking, because I knew she always meant what she said. "Shen Buyu, can you not?" Before I could finish, she cut me off. Then she lowered her voice and mocked herself. "So you finally deign to call me by name. I thought you had forgotten your old flame. Date me. Do not make me force you." As she said this, Shen Buyu unconsciously raised her voice. Hearing that, Wang Shanshan beside us could not stand by any longer. "Buyu, this is the modern age. You cannot force someone into love. Besides, forced love is never sweet. Can you shut up? What does this have to do with you? Your mouth never stops talking. So get lost and go. Chat with those ladies dancing in the square below the office." With that, she turned back and continued staring at me. "You have 5 seconds to answer." 5, 4. Just as I was about to say no, she skipped all the numbers in between and jumped straight to 1. "Time is up. You did not answer. So I will take that as a yes." "That is cheating." "I am cheating. What are you going to do about it? You could toy with my feelings. So, why can I not play dirty? I told you, the next time I saw you, you'd be dead meat." Fang Xiu, do not think I was joking. Hearing that, my body began to tremble. When we first met, we fell in love at first sight. We naturally ended up together. But in truth, our meeting had been carefully staged by me. I had used her and deceived her feelings. And after using her, I immediately dumped her. Shen Buyu, I am sorry. You toyed with my feelings, and one apology is supposed to settle it. Fang Xiu, how old are you? Still, if you want my forgiveness, it is not impossible. Just get back together with me. That was an entirely different matter. So I firmly shook my head and refused. Shen Buyu's gaze turned icy. "Do not tell me. You fell for someone else this quickly." When I remained silent, she gave a cold smile. "Fine. Whoever you love, I will ruin them one by one, until you agree to be with me. Shen Buyu, if you revenge on me, then come at me. Do not hurt the people around me. Of course, I will take revenge on you. But before that, I will make the people around you pay first." The moment she said that, before I could speak, my phone suddenly rang. It was Yang Jian calling, but just as I reached for it, a hand suddenly reached over from beside me and snatched away my phone. Then she answered the call. "Fang Xiu, where did you go? I am coming to find you. He is here with me." Hearing an unfamiliar woman's voice on the phone, Yang Jian froze. "Who are you? Where is Fang Xiu?" Shen Buyu snorted coldly. "Your friend harassed me. He cannot leave now, unless he takes responsibility for me. Otherwise, I will not let this go." When Yang Jian rushed to private room 606, he was shocked to discover several police officers inside. As for the officer in charge, he saw everyone in the room behaving properly and glanced at the woman seated in the center of the sofa. He could not help feeling a headache coming on. "Miss Shen, what are you up to this time?" Shen Buyu pointed at me, sitting nearby. He harassed me. What do you think we should do? The officer in charge looked at my expressionless face, then at the reckless eldest Miss Shen. Remembering how Miss Shen usually dealt with trouble, handling it right on the spot, the officer did not hesitate and decided this was simply a lover's quarrel. According to regulations, they would have to take him in for a few days to straighten him out. However, Shen Buyu cut him off. There is no need to take him in. I asked you to come today to bear witness. As for educating him, as the victim, I should be the one to teach him a lesson. From now on, he will stay at my house for a few days. If he dares sneak out and you see him on the street, you know what to do, right? Hearing this, the officer's mouth twitched. My reaction was even stronger. Shen Buyu, you have no right to restrict my freedom. Restrict you? Did you not hear him say you would be taken in for a few days? The conditions there are filthy and awful. How could that be as comfortable as my big bed? At that moment, Yang Jian stepped forward as well, but he did not know that Shen Buyu and I had once been in a relationship. He didn't know. There was no way I would ever harass someone. It was obvious Shen Buyu had taken a lustful interest in me the moment she saw me, but I had refused. So she had simply decided to force me. So he walked up to Shen Buyu. Shen Buyu, do not think the Shen family gives you the right to do whatever you please. Let me tell you this, you only get one life. So, what if I do whatever I want? The police are right here. If you have what it takes, tell them to arrest me. Hearing that, Yang Jian clenched his fist, but before he could make a move, Wang Shanshan hurriedly stopped him. Do not hit her. Do not. If you hit her, she will definitely take revenge on you. As she said this, Shen Buyu shot Wang Shanshan a sidelong glance. Then she turned back and rested a hand on my shoulder. To keep you from running away, I will keep you confined by my side for now. If you want your friend to remain unharmed, stay with me tonight. I will take you back to school in the morning. As she spoke, she took the rope handed to her by a staff member. I did not move an inch throughout. I let her tie my hand to hers, because I knew Shen Buyu's influence in this city was immense. For Yang Jian's life and mine, I could only nod and say, okay. Seeing how obedient I was, Shen Buyu laughed in satisfaction. Baby, I wish you would always be this obedient. That familiar pet name left me completely stunned. Then I remembered that Shen Buyu was 5 years older than me, back when we had just started dating. She always called me baby or babies you, especially when I was in school. When I lived at her house, whenever I did my homework, she would call out baby, then wrap her arms around me from behind. And within seconds, her hands would start wandering. Sure enough, just as I thought, Shen Buyu had already pressed herself against me. She buried her face in the crook of my neck and murmured, Fang Xiu, I gave you your freedom. In the end, I could not make it to the class reunion. I could only ask Yang Jian to tell the class monitor that something had come up. Even Yang Jian, slow as he was, could tell that Shen Buyu and I knew each other, and that our relationship was far from ordinary. So he shot me an accusing look. But before he could say anything else, he watched me get forcefully taken away. Half an hour later, outside a luxurious villa, Shen Buyu, we're home now. You can untie me now, right? I raised my rope-bound hand toward her. Seeing this, Shen Buyu giggled. Call me sister, and I will untie you. I turned my face away. Without saying a word, Shen Buyu was not pleased. She forcibly cupped my face. If you do not say it, I'll make a move on you right now. I will. No. Wait, sister. Happy now? Shen Buyu kept her word and untied the rope. It was 7 in the evening. I pushed open the door and saw several servants carrying dishes to the table. More than 10 dishes covered the table, all of them my favorites. Before I could say anything, Shen Buyu pushed me toward the table. I know you have not eaten yet. Sit down and eat something first. Have a drink with me, she said, pouring wine into my glass. Her meaning was obvious. I am not drinking. I cannot hold my liquor. This one is very weak. It will not get you drunk. Finish this glass, and you will sleep wonderfully tonight. In the end, I could not withstand Shen Buyu's relentless persuasion, and obediently drank it. But I never imagined Shen Buyu would trick me like this. The wine was not only strong, it went straight to my head. Before I had eaten more than a few bites, I grew dizzy and collapsed. When I opened my eyes again, I was already in bed. The woman was leaning against my chest. Shen Buyu, you tricked me again. As I spoke, I pushed her head away. I am so hot. Move away from me. At that, Shen Buyu lifted her head. How about a kiss? I instinctively sensed danger and shook my head groggily. Shen Buyu looked hurt. Why? I've saved myself for you all these years. You will not even let me touch you. Hearing that, I half opened my eyes and tried to blow on her. But from that single glance, Shen Buyu misunderstood my intentions. She threw herself at me. The next morning, when I opened my eyes, I shot upright in bed. When I caught sight of Shen Buyu beside me, I vaguely remembered last night. She seemed to have said something. Baby, I like you so much. So much. What am I going to do? Baby, you are driving me crazy. I nervously felt my clothes. My body seemed fine. I had only changed into a new set of clothes. I breathed a sigh of relief. Shen Buyu woke up then as well. She secretly watched my reaction. Seeing the relief on my face, she realized she had not given herself to me after all, and instantly felt disappointed. Even when she drove me to school that morning, she wore a miserable expression. Not getting to have me last night had already left Shen Buyu thoroughly frustrated, and whenever she thought that she would not see me all day once I got to school, her heart grew even more restless. Once we arrived at school, Shen Buyu suddenly leaned over. Fang Xiu, listen to me. My life is very precious. If you ever try to leave me, I will kill myself right in front of you. With that, she closed her eyes. Her meaning was obvious, but I nervously made an excuse. No, I will be late for class. No, a kiss will make me feel better. You would not want me to have an accident on my way back, would you? So, 10 minutes later, I stumbled out of the car, then gulped down several deep breaths. But just when I thought that, at least today, I could escape Shen Buyu's clutches for the whole day. At the Shen Group's top-floor conference room, Shen Buyu listened to her employees' reports while scrolling through photos of me on her phone. They had been apart for less than an hour, yet she was already aching to see me. She could not stop herself from wanting to see me. The more she thought about it, the less she could resist. So she simply called off the meeting. I have something to attend to. I am leaving. Secretary Lin handled the rest of the meeting. After the first class at Jingbei University ended, my roommates and I had just left the classroom when we saw the president walking down the hall. You are Fang Xiu. Correct. I am. What is it? It is this. The school financial aid you applied for has completed its first round of selections. However, this year's selection rules have changed. Come to my office so we can discuss the details. Since the president himself had come, I obediently nodded and followed behind him. But when we reached his office door, the president suddenly slapped his forehead, as if he had just remembered something. Oh, right? I just remembered. I have something else to handle. Go inside and wait for me first. Still suspecting nothing, I nodded and pushed open the door. Before I could take in the president's office, I spotted the woman seated behind the desk. Seeing me freeze, she smiled softly and crooked a finger at me. Then it hit me. It is you. What are you doing here? I missed you, so I came to see you. But seeing me here, you do not seem very happy about it. I gave an awkward smile and turned to leave. Is that so? I still have class. I am going back to it. But I had barely taken 2 steps when the door automatically shut. Shen Buyu waved remote control in her hand, looking smug. You run whenever you see me. Am I really that scary? Fang Xiu, do not bother. You cannot open it. It is a key padlock. As she spoke, she rose to her feet and slowly approached me. Shen Buyu, I need to get back to class. Open the door. I checked your schedule. Your next class is political theory. I have already spoken to the president. Your professor will not mark you absent. You cannot keep making decisions for me. Hearing that, I sighed helplessly and gently wrapped an arm around my waist. Why? Fang Xiu, could class possibly be more interesting than me? Standing before you is a 5'7" woman, a busty, curvy beauty who is ridiculously rich. How could I lose to some dull classroom? I pried her hand away and shook my head. Sorry, but I just want to focus on studying. I am not stopping you from studying, but you need to balance work and rest. Otherwise, you will turn into a bookworm. That is all you ever think about. How can I help it? I lose control whenever I see you. You have to take responsibility for me. At those words, my ears betrayed me by turning red. If you cannot control yourself, figure it out on your own. But as soon as I said that, Shen Buyu leaned close to my ear and whispered for meaningful words. The office is soundproof. I hurriedly covered her mouth. Do not say it. Caught off guard, Shen Buyu was pushed straight against the wall. Yet Shen Buyu did not get angry. Instead, she seized the chance to slide a hand around my waist. Fang Xiu, are you trying to pin me to the wall? But you have the position wrong. Let me show you. The moment she finished speaking, she spun me around with a sudden movement and pressed me against the wall. Then she grabbed my hand. When she saw I did not resist, she gave a wicked smile and kissed my palm. Even that was not enough. And she, enough? Are you a dog? I yanked my hand back and with a look of disgust, wiped the saliva from it onto her clothes. I already am your dog. I love it when you look at me like that. That only disgusted me more. But before I could say anything, a sudden series of knocks rang out at the door. My body instantly tensed, afraid someone might barge in and catch us like that. I struggled to get away, but Shen Buyu refused. She stubbornly insisted on staying close to me. When the two of us finally emerged from the president's office, the president was waiting outside with a beaming smile. I had no idea whether he had heard what went on inside. I felt rather embarrassed and stammered, unsure what to say. Thankfully, the president asked nothing. He merely looked at me. Student Fang Xiu, the new financial aid selection rules are out. The school will triple financial aid for students with outstanding grades, from the original amount to triple that amount. Also, starting today, the school has also established a Good Samaritan Award, a Bravery in the Face of Danger Award, a Community Volunteer Service Award, a No-Fail Final Exam Award, a Campus Stray Cat Feeding Award, an Early to Bed, Early to Rise Award, and an On-Time Meals Award. Each award is worth 10,000 yuan. There are only 3 recipients per award. The school will give priority to students with excellent grades. When reviewing eligibility, scan this to access the application. Although the awards sounded strange, the president's reputation kept me from thinking much of it. I obediently took out my phone and scanned the code. The account name was simple, just 2 characters. Fang Xiu. When Shen Buyu saw this, she grinned from ear to ear and quietly took out her phone. Who would have thought? Your school's sponsor is quite generous. I did not notice what she was doing at all. After I tapped Add Friend, a link quickly arrived from the other side. It led to a questionnaire. I filled in my name and age, then my home address. But when I scrolled down, I saw, who was your first love? When and where was your first kiss? Who was it with? When I saw those questions, I frowned and, after hesitating, entered none. But a red X immediately appeared. It said my answer was incorrect. Seeing this, the president glanced at Shen Buyu beside him. Then he cleared his throat loudly and explained. This sponsor has a somewhat unusual temperament, so her questions are not exactly conventional. But do not worry, the school has already vetted her. She is definitely not a bad person. Hearing that, I finally put my doubts aside. I began answering seriously, but all those questions were about Shen Buyu. When I saw Shen Buyu trying to peek, I hurriedly hit submit, but I never imagined Shen Buyu needed only a light tap of her little hand to see the answers I had submitted. When she saw her own name in my answers, she actually laughed out loud. What are you laughing at? I am laughing at someone who was not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. By noon, after Shen Buyu left, I took my roommates straight to a small spicy chicken pot restaurant off campus. While we ate, several people came in and ordered the same dishes as us. When we finished and went to pay, the owner wiped her hands and handed me the bill. 100 yuan total. I was about to pay, but the man at the next table took issue with it. He slammed his hand on the table. Ma'am, that is not honest business. We ordered the exact same portions. Why does my bill say 200 while he only pays 100? If you do not explain this today, I will call the police. I will say this restaurant scams its customers, and you can forget about staying in business near the school. They are regulars. Giving them a discount is perfectly normal, but I have eaten here several times too. Why have you never given us a discount? As he spoke, the man glanced aside and suddenly noticed a different menu on the counter. It was the menu the owner had given us. The man snatched it up. The moment he saw the prices, he grew even angrier. So, you have different menus for different customers. They are the same dishes. Why are their prices so much cheaper? The man shouted at the top of his lungs, drawing every other customer's attention. As the scene escalated, the owner accidentally let something slip while explaining. Someone has paid all that student's bills for 3 years of college. I was never supposed to charge him. I froze, hardly able to believe it. Then I pointed at myself. Ma'am, what did you just say? Do you mean me? Seeing she could not hide it anymore, the owner had no choice but to nod. She told me the truth. 2 years ago, a powerful, well-connected woman bought this entire street. She waived our rent for 3 years and told us that whenever we saw someone named Fang Xiu dining with his friends, we were to charge him half price. We are all small business owners. Having our rent waived already saves us a great deal. I originally wanted to charge you nothing, but that woman said she did not want you to know she was behind it. So she had every shop here make a custom menu just for you. After hearing all that, I immediately thought of Shen Buyu. Then, to confirm it, I took my roommates to several nearby shops. Sure enough, every shop we entered gave us a menu different from everyone else's. All the prices were half the usual amount. Yang was dumbfounded. He scratched his head. We never noticed before. So, for the past 2 years, because of Fang Xiu, have we been getting free meals all this time? After returning to the dorm, I took out my phone to ask whether Shen Buyu was behind this, but I quickly realized I did not even have Shen Buyu's contact information. Just then, the investor I added that morning suddenly sent me a message. Hello, Student Fang. The awards you applied for this morning have run into a small problem. Can we discuss it in person? Trusting the president, I replied without hesitation. Sure. Where should we meet? I am free at 6 tonight. A moment later, she sent an address. After class ended, I took a cab there, but when I saw the familiar villa before me, I stopped in my tracks. This was where Shen Buyu had brought me last time. Could this sponsor know her too? Before I could think further, the maid at the entrance spotted me and hurried over. She bowed respectfully. Mr. Feng, Miss Shen has been waiting for you inside for quite some time. Hearing that, I understood at once. When I entered the living room, Shen Buyu was sitting on the sofa. The moment she saw me, she looked at me with pitiful eyes. I have waited for you for a full 5 hours. If you had not come soon, I would have turned to stone waiting for you. You were the one who said 6 tonight. Shen Buyu, you are the sponsor, right? What is wrong? Are you unhappy to see your angel sponsor? I created so many awards just for you. Why did you only apply for 3? Or are you worried about spending my money? At that, Shen Buyu's eyes lit up. She sprang up and threw herself straight at me. We are not even married yet, and you already know how to save money. Baby, you are so sweet. I pushed away the head buried in the crook of my neck. Do not talk nonsense. Let me ask you, why did you lie to me? It is simple. If I had not done this, you would never have applied for those awards. Shen Buyu rested her chin on my shoulder again. She explained sulkily, in the 2 hours since we parted, you never once asked anyone for my contact information. I was going to cancel all your applications. It is useless. The money is already in your account. Even if you ask the bank staff to reverse it, they will not process it. As she finished, I received notice that 200,000 yuan had been deposited. Do not move. If you dare send it back, you are not leaving today. I have plenty of people at my disposal. Shen Buyu, what are you trying to do? None of your business. Shen Buyu hummed to herself as she snatched away my phone, trying to change her contact label from investor to wife. The instant I saw the word wife, I knew trouble was coming. I immediately reached for my phone, but Shen Buyu puffed out her chest. We are already this intimate. If I am not your wife, what am I? Do you want me to be your roommate instead? A few seconds after saying that, Shen Buyu suddenly changed her tune. That could work too. Either way, I will only ever be your wife. No, why not? I did not want to hear her teasing me. After a brief struggle, I finally got my phone back. But then, Shen Buyu seized the chance to grab my hand, and even gave it a squeeze. Baby, I want to kiss you. No. I pressed my palm against her face, but Shen Buyu twisted aside, then persistently leaned close again. Then come back to my room and kiss me, okay? No. This is no. That is no. Fang Xiu, are you impotent or something? Why doesn't Jingbei University offer a course to cure impotence? They could fix you up. Do not go back tonight. Stay and sleep with me. Still no. If I do not go back, my roommates will call the police. Shen Buyu burst out laughing. Do you think I am a bad person? Where could you find a villain as rich as me, beautiful as me, and devoted as me? Besides, you already know me inside out. As she said that, Shen Buyu brought her lips close to my earlobe and gently blew against it. I shuddered and lost my balance, and she pushed me onto the sofa before I could tense up and get to my feet. Shen Buyu, who knew me all too well, had already reached for my waist. Her icy touch made my whole body tremble. I could not get up again. Shen Buyu, relax. Without your permission, I will not touch you. Let go. I am getting up. I have not held you enough yet. I do not want to, but this position is making us both ache. Sure enough, Shen Buyu misunderstood me. She shifted her hips, adjusting her position. Is this better now? Your head is practically buried beneath my ABS. Is that what you mean? But no matter how fiercely I scolded her, she would not budge. As we remained locked in a stalemate, I wondered whether to give her a smack when the cook suddenly came over. Only then did Shen Buyu reluctantly let me go. But after dinner, I thought I would finally be free. Instead, Shen Buyu once again shamelessly insisted on taking a walk with me to digest dinner. As the bodyguards at the entrance drew closer, I had no choice but to take her hand and lead her toward the backyard. Because we were standing so close, our shadows naturally intertwined. She pointed at the shadows on the ground. Look, we are kissing. I stopped walking and stepped back. Oh my. Now you are kissing my neck. So, compared to my lips, you prefer my neck. I said nothing, determined to play mute. Meanwhile, Shen Buyu kept on chattering. An hour later, Shen Buyu suddenly rose on tiptoe and patted my back. Baby, I am tired from walking. Will you carry me on your back? You have been talking for an hour. Your mouth is not tired, but your feet are. Do not question a woman's business. Without allowing any argument, Shen Buyu walked up to me. Her petite frame carried an overwhelming presence. Carry me on your back or in your arms. Choose one. I choose neither. I brushed past her and headed back. But Shen Buyu jumped straight onto my back. She wrapped her arms around my neck. A suffocating feeling washed over me. I immediately struggled. Get down. No. I am a wealthy heiress. Either carry me like a princess, or carry me on your back like this. Hearing that, I hesitated for a long time. In the end, I decided to carry her back this way. At least this way, I would not have to worry about her rubbing against me all the way home. Why are you not saying anything? Do not tell me you cannot carry me in your arms. Then will you still have the strength to go at it with me for 3 days and nights when we get home? Shen Buyu, you talk too much. How had I never realized she was such a chatterbox? And she was always blurting out such blush-inducing things, just as I wondered whether she had taken some kind of lessons. Shen Buyu's eyes suddenly darkened. She lowered her head, pressing her cheek to mine. You are the one who broke my heart. It hurt so much. Back then, I could not even speak. I am still sick even now. So, whenever I see you, I want to say so many things. She made it sound so simple. I unconsciously rubbed my fingers together and clenched my fists. In that moment, I suddenly felt like such a scumbag. A moment later, the words slipped out. I am sorry. As it turned out later, my sudden guilt had not come from nowhere. During the time after I dumped Shen Buyu, she was diagnosed with depression and insomnia. For a long time, she grew used to being alone and did not want to talk to anyone. For an entire year, she threw herself into company affairs, trying to numb herself with work and force herself to forget me. But nothing she tried worked. In the end, only after a psychologist stepped in and forced her into treatment did her condition finally improve. And now that she had seen me again, the love she had buried deep in her heart could no longer be hidden. Back in the present, Shen Buyu stared fixedly at me, then waved a hand as if she did not mind. You did not do anything wrong to me. Breaking up does not mean we cannot get back together. Even divorce has a cooling off period now. Ours was just a breakup cooling off period. It was not a crime. If you feel sorry for me, then agree to get back together with me. But guilt was one thing, and getting back together was another. So I could only lower my eyes. Without answering her, she had already guessed the outcome. Her fingers curled instinctively, and she forced a smile. It is okay. Even if you will not get back together with me, I will keep shamelessly clinging to you. You cannot force love, but it is better than going hungry. If you think I talk too much, just kiss me and shut me up. I remained silent. She did not give up when she saw that. Instead, she kept telling me amusing stories. In the end, I carried her on my back for a full hour before finally getting her home. Since it was so late, I had no choice but to stay at her house. I had planned to sleep in the living room, but Shen Buyu was not having that. She wrapped her arms around me and pinned me to the bed. I did not even get to take a shower. Not until I could barely breathe anymore did Shen Buyu finally let me go. The next day, while I was still asleep, my face began to itch. When I opened my eyes, Shen Buyu was tickling me with her hair. I froze for a moment, then realized I was lying on top of her. Before I could react, she pulled me tightly into her arms. Shen Buyu's nightgown was rather thin, and her sleeping position was a mess. I could easily feel the warmth of her body. What is it? You just woke up and already can't hold back. It sounded like a taunt, but Shen Buyu clearly could not hold back either. First, she swallowed hard, then touched my waist. But the moment she moved, her nightgown slipped even more out of place. She glanced down, then looked at me with a teasing half-smile. You had better not move. Otherwise, if it really comes undone, you will not be going to school today either. That is a threat. You are the one who... Is that so? I wonder who fell asleep last night and insisted that I hold him, clinging to me like a koala and refusing to let go. You kept me awake all night, but I knew there was no way I had done any of that. I wanted to shove her away, jump out of bed, and flee without looking back. But when I thought of her bodyguards dragging me back, I could only swallow my frustration. I braced my hands on either side of her waist, carefully shifting myself off her. But though I moved as gently as I could, we were already far too close. Every breath I exhaled brushed across her skin, sending waves of tremors through her. Shen Buyu gripped my arm, her face gradually turning red. Then, the next moment, she let me go and began lightly grazing my skin, making me tremble too. Before I could protest, Shen Buyu gave a mischievous smile, sliding her hand behind my waist, then pressed me down against her. Whether that impact satisfied her, I had no idea. But my lips hurt like hell. Even while she drove me back to school, I still ignored her. Back at the dorm, Yang was about to start a game. Then he glanced over and spotted me. His face lit up with excitement, and he pounced on me. Fang Xiu, you were out all night again. What have you been doing behind our backs? What else could I have been doing? What nonsense are you thinking? Quit playing dumb. Let me ask you, why are you wearing different clothes? I remember these clothes are expensive, aren't they? They are from CC's latest collection. Each piece costs tens of thousands of yuan. I was instantly speechless. After sputtering for a long moment, I finally forced out an answer. How could I afford clothes this expensive? I found them in a street stall. They are just knockoffs. Seeing Yang was about to keep asking, our roommate caught on immediately. He pulled Yang away, while pointing at the computer. Enough talking. Hurry up. The game is starting. Without another word, Yang turned and went back to his seat. Just then, my phone suddenly received a message. When I opened it, my expression changed drastically. Fang Xiu, transfer 500,000 yuan to me. Now, I do not have any money. Still trying to lie to me? I saw the post on your school's forum. You hooked up with some young heiress from the Shen family again. She likes you so much. How could she not give you money to spend? Let me tell you, if you do not transfer the money today, you will never get your adoptive mother's belongings. My face went pale. My nails dug hard into my palms. Here we go again. I lost count of how many times this had happened. That old bastard, my adoptive father, had always been like this. Even before that, whenever something upset him, He took it out on me. If my adoptive mother had not protected me, I would probably have been dead long ago. Let me tell you, I have nothing to do with her. I do not have any money either, and I will never give you money. What did you say? I raised you and spent so much money on you. If I had not taken you in, you would have starved to death on the streets. Listen carefully. If you do not transfer the money, I will cause a scene at your school. If you dare cause trouble at my school, I will call the police. After sending that message, I shut off my phone. Meanwhile, Shen Buyu had planned to call me to make sure I had gone back to the dorm. But after calling several times, she only heard that my phone was switched off. Shen Buyu furrowed her brow. She hesitated for a long time. She wanted to come find me, but feared I would be unhappy to see her. After much deliberation, she finally summoned her secretary. Contact the dorm manager for Building 21 of Jingbei University's men's dorms. Tell him that within 10 minutes, he is to report Fang Xiu's situation to me. Yes, President Shen. I will arrange it immediately. 20 minutes later, the dorm manager knocked on my door and found me struggling to process my dark emotions. After exchanging a few pleasantries, he hurried away. He took out his phone and truthfully reported my condition to Shen Buyu. He told her how awful I looked, and my eyes were red. Hearing that, Shen Buyu's heart clenched. She could not figure out why I was upset. Could I have gone too far this morning? That could not be it, could it? Wasn't it said that men were easiest to win over when a woman took the initiative? Could something have happened? No. I have to go see him. As Shen Buyu thought this, she sprinted from her office. She sped all the way there. Before long, I was about to crawl into the comforting embrace of my bed. Then, the very next second, an incredibly familiar voice rang out downstairs. Fang Xiu. That shout of Fang Xiu from downstairs silenced the entire dorm building for 3 seconds. I leaned over the windowsill and looked down. Shen Buyu stood in the sunset, looking up like a little dog abandoned by its owner. Yang Jian rushed to my side, leaned out, and looked downstairs. He immediately got excited. Holy crap! Fang Xiu, a stunning beauty downstairs is calling for you. I ignored him. By then, plenty of other guys had stuck their heads out too. Who is she? She is insanely beautiful. Is she waiting for her boyfriend? Of course. Gorgeous women are always taken. What a shame. Still, why does her face seem familiar? I think I saw her in a business magazine. The boy's conversation instantly reminded me of what my adoptive father had said. I composed myself, hesitated for 2 or 3 seconds, and decided to pretend I had not heard her. I did not respond. Meanwhile, Shen Buyu wanted to come straight in, but the school rules were clear, and the dorm manager could not openly let a woman enter the men's dormitory. Half an hour passed like that. I stayed in my room, silently watching her figure. She remained downstairs for a long while, then left helplessly. I thought she had truly left, but unexpectedly, half an hour later, beneath the men's dormitory, a tall figure suddenly appeared. Shen Buyu had changed into men's clothes and put on a wig. She entered the dorm manager's office and said coldly, "Go to Fang Xiu's dorm, make up any excuse, and get his roommates out of there." The dorm manager immediately saluted, then ran to our dorm room. As the dorm manager called them away, Yang Jian scratched his head in confusion. Why call the 3 of us, but not Fang Xiu? I was confused too, but the dorm manager gave no further explanation. Very soon, though, when I saw Shen Buyu enter disguised as a man, I understood why he had called the other 3 out. Shen Buyu ripped off the bothersome wig and strode toward me. She trapped me against the desk to protect my future happiness. I tensed my entire body and stared at her. Shen Buyu, what are you doing? At that, she looked utterly wronged. Why were you ignoring me? This is the men's dormitory. Why did you come in here? I came to apologize. I should not have treated you that way this morning. If you are still angry, you can hit me or yell at me. Just do not hide in the dorm and cry alone. When you cry, my heart hurts too. I found this completely baffling. I simply pressed a hand to her waist and abdomen and turned my head away. What are you talking about? What reason would I have to cry? You are lying. The dorm manager told me. Your eyes were red. Hearing that, I finally understood. I had only been troubled over my adoptive father, not angry over what happened that morning. I did not want to tell her any of this. I merely sighed to myself. We were never from the same world. Why get tangled up at all? I looked at her face, inches from mine, pressed my lips together, and gritted my teeth. Yes, I am angry at you. You always force me against my will. Shen Buyu, we broke up long ago. I do not like you. Please stop bothering me. At the words, "do not like," Shen Buyu seemed deeply stung. Her slender fingers tightened around my wrist. Her voice turned fierce. You broke up with me unilaterally. I never agreed to it. It is fine if you do not like me now. We have plenty of time ahead of us. I will make you fall for me again. Love me so much you can never leave me. The moment she finished speaking, she lowered her head and fiercely sealed my lips with hers. Her breath washed over my cheek, warm, with a faint tremble. Say you do not like me one more time, and I will kiss you senseless. Her kiss was fierce and urgent. I could not break free. My eyes slowly reddened, and tears rolled down my cheeks, landing heavily on her lips. Shen Buyu went rigid. A moment later, She finally let me go. She raised a hand and wiped away my tears, burying her face in my neck. Her tone was soft and coaxing. Do not say you do not like me again, or I really will lose my mind. I choked back a sob. Shen Buyu, why does it have to be me? You were the one who led me on first. How can you toy with my feelings, then abandon me? I will cling to you for the rest of my life. Even if you marry someone else, I will still take you back. Before leaving the dorm, she straightened my rumpled collar. I will pick you up after class today. Do not run off. Otherwise, you know the consequences. There was a faint threat in her words. Once she disappeared, it felt as if all my strength left me. My weak hands braced against the desk. After recovering for a while, I went to class. After my last class ended, I had barely stepped out of the classroom when someone stopped me. A petite girl stood before me. She wore a simple shirt and had a sweet face. She looked shy as she hesitantly spoke. Fang Xiu, I am Fang Duo from the next class. I have liked you for a long time. Will you be my boyfriend? You can take your time to think about it. You can tell me once you have decided. I froze for a few seconds. She touched her head, looking bashful. But, if you do not mind, may I treat you to dinner later? I looked up and gave her a small smile. Sure. Fang Duo had not expected me to agree so easily. She looked delighted. I booked us a table at Yunque restaurant. Let us go now. Okay. Let us go. Knowing Shen Buyu would wait at the main gate, I chose the side exit. Shen Buyu's car was parked by the gate. After waiting half an hour without seeing me, a dark fury seeped into her expression. She impatiently called me. I silenced my phone and ignored it. Her face turned cold. She gave the surveillance office an order. Find Fang Xiu. By then, we had reached Yunque restaurant. Fang Duo came from a wealthy family, but kept a low profile. Because she had been raised strictly, she had never dated anyone. She did not know how to act around me, so she ordered nearly everything on the menu. I quickly stopped her. She rubbed her head sheepishly. I did not know what you liked, so I wanted to order every dish. You do not need to waste your money. A few dishes are enough. You do not need to save money for me. I can afford to support you. I fell silent. The food arrived quickly. Fang Duo had still ordered quite a few dishes, including desserts and drinks I liked. Midway through the meal, a server came in and whispered something in Fang Duo's ear. She smiled at the server, then looked at me. Take your time eating. I need to step out, but I will be right back. I nodded and watched her leave. But the moment she left the private room, the door was pushed open again. This time, Shen Buyu came in. The instant Shen Buyu entered, I nearly dropped my chopsticks. She shut the door behind her, her gaze sweeping over the table full of food. She gave me a cold smile. You ignored my calls. You stood me up, all to have dinner here with another woman. Since you already know, why did you come here? Some shameless bitch out there is trying to steal my boyfriend. If I did not come, was I supposed to let her replace me as your girlfriend? We are no longer dating. You have no right to interfere in my private life. An ex-husband is still a husband. So why is an ex-girlfriend not still a girlfriend? Besides, do you know why I am your ex-girlfriend? Because I will slowly turn from your ex-girlfriend into your girlfriend again. As she said that, her cool, thin lips brushed my earlobe in a kiss. My body trembled. Flustered and angry, I pushed her away. Shen Buyu, get out. She pulled over a chair and sat down, resting her chin on her hand, watching me with a smile. Call me your girlfriend, then I will do as you and leave. I stood up, trembling slightly. Since you like it here, I will leave. As I took one step, she yanked my wrist hard and pulled me into her arms. She held me tightly from behind. Let me go. No. Not unless you call me your girlfriend. Shen Buyu, you are always forcing me like this. Do you know how much I hate you? Shen Buyu suddenly froze. Her gaze gradually darkened. But if I do not force you, you will hate me anyway. Rather than that, I might as well keep you in prison at my side. So, you cannot run away. She raised her hand and pinched my chin. But you stood me up today. So, you have to make it up to me. With that, she caught me off guard with a kiss. Unlike her rough kiss in the dorm, this one was gentle. As if afraid of hurting me, she merely held my lips gently and caressed them with her tongue. But Fang Duo could return at any moment. Not wanting her to see this, I steeled myself and bit Shen Buyu's lip hard. She released me in pain, her expression turning even uglier. She grabbed the back of my head, trying to kiss me forcefully again. But outside the half-open private room door, Fang Duo's voice faintly drifted over. Panic seized me. Somehow, I found the strength to push her away. I grabbed her hand and tried to shove her out. Hurry up and leave. What if she sees you? That homewrecker trying to steal my boyfriend has the nerve to catch us cheating? I will stand right here. I want to see what she plans to do when she comes in. I knew there was no point saying anything more to her. I looked around. My gaze landed on the large round table. I strode over. I lifted the tablecloth. Hide under there. Hearing that, Shen Buyu froze. Her breath visibly caught. You want me to crawl under the table? I have never done anything so humiliating. I had no time to worry about anything else. Without another thought, I pushed her under the table. Seeing my panicked expression, Shen Buyu suddenly changed her mind. She bent down and squeezed inside. Then she gave me a meaningful look. Since you want to try the thrill of a secret affair with me, I suppose I can reluctantly play along this once. I breathed a sigh of relief. I sat back down and resumed eating. By the time Fang Duo returned, I was looking down as I peeled a crab. Sorry to keep you waiting. Fang Duo sat down. Seeing that I liked crab, she asked the server to bring several more plates. She even took it upon herself to peel them for me. Let me help you. You might hurt your hands. At those words, Shen Buyu's eyes turned cold beneath the table. The next second, an icy sensation brushed my lower leg. I was so startled that I nearly cried out. I swatted at Shen Buyu's wandering hand, but she easily caught mine. She brought it to her lips and kissed it. Even after kissing it, she refused to let go. She simply sat lazily on the floor and toyed with my fingers. I could not pull my hand free. I was also afraid Fang Duo would notice, so I lightly kicked Shen Buyu. Shen Buyu caught my raised lower leg and pulled it toward herself. Soon, my skin flushed pink. Fang Duo noticed. Concern filled her voice. Your face is so red. Are you feeling unwell? I did not dare make a sound. I was afraid I might make a strange noise. But the woman beneath the table was becoming bolder by the second. I could only grab the nearby glass and pretend to drink water to hide my embarrassment because I drank too quickly and my hand would not stop shaking. I accidentally choked. My face turned bright red as I began coughing violently. Fang Duo hurriedly stood up and patted my back. Slow down. Don't rush. Through the gap beneath the tablecloth, Shen Buyu clearly saw Fang Duo standing beside me. Her hand was almost touching mine. Shen Buyu's gaze turned icy. The anger churning in her chest could no longer be contained. She threw up the tablecloth and crawled out. The sudden turn of events left Fang Duo completely stunned. It took her a long while to recover. Who are you? Why were you hiding under the table? Shen Buyu walked over to me and slapped away the intrusive hands on my back. I am the restaurant's special service. He ordered me an in-room massage. Isn't it obvious? How come I never knew Yunque restaurant offered this kind of service? He is my client. You have no right to touch him. Understand? I quietly tugged at her hand, trying to make her stop talking, but Shen Buyu's fingers forcefully slipped between mine. My face turned crimson. I secretly glared at her. Fang Duo looked at me. Fang Xiu, what is going on? I am sorry. Actually, Fang Duo paused. She quickly waved her hands. You do not need to apologize to me. Are you feeling unwell somewhere? Is that why you ordered a massage? I was stunned. Shen Buyu was stunned too. Then she scoffed. Exactly. He is feeling unwell. Yet you forced him to stay here and eat with you. And you still have the nerve to say you like him. As expected of a naive, foolish college student, you actually believe such nonsense. No, that is not it. I did not know he was feeling unwell. You do not have to stay here if you do not want to. If you are in pain, I will take you to the hospital. No need. I will take him. But are you not a mess here? If you leave, are you not afraid of having your pay docked? A crack appeared in Shen Buyu's expression. The corner of her mouth twitched, an unusual sight. After a moment, seeing that she was about to say more, I clapped a hand over Shen Buyu's mouth. We are friends. She was only joking with you. You have not finished eating, have you? Take your time and finish your meal. I will head back to school. Then can I still take you out to eat sometime? Shen Buyu grabbed the hand covering her mouth and pulled it down to my side. You do not stand a chance. He likes women like me. Clearly, you do not qualify. Ignoring Fang Duo's disbelieving expression behind us, Shen Buyu took me straight out of the restaurant. After we returned to the villa, Shen Buyu held my hand as we got out of the car. All the way inside, she clung to me. I did not dare push her away, and could only let her have her way with me. When we reached the bedroom, Shen Buyu suddenly tackled me onto the bed. What we had not finished earlier. Let's continue. Shen Buyu, let me go back. If I let you go back, am I supposed to lie alone in an empty bed? If you keep refusing to let me touch you, I am going to start wondering if something is wrong with me. If you cannot hold back, then buy yourself a fake one. How could a fake compare to the real thing? Shen Buyu leaned closer. Her warm breath tickled its way into my ear. Sweetheart, did you enjoy the way I pleased you earlier? Her words brought the intimate scene in the private room rushing back to my mind. Remembering her outrageous behavior, I bit down on her shoulder. Shen Buyu, you bastard. We are not together anymore. She tilted her head back and let out a soft breath. Then she leaned in and kissed my lips. Yes, I am a bastard. But you liked it too. Did you not? I pushed her away and covered my lips, so she could not kiss me. She closed her eyes in apparent enjoyment. There is nothing shameful about admitting your feelings. Besides, I am your girlfriend. Making you feel good is my duty. You are not my girlfriend anymore. You have no right to control me. You keep reminding me of that. Do you want me to become your wife? That could work. Call me your wife first. Shen Buyu, you love calling my name so much. Are you secretly in love with me? My face flushed bright red. I was furious. I bared my teeth at her. If you do not let me go, I will bite you to death. Shen Buyu's eyes lit up. She even offered me her neck. Bite wherever you want. I will let you, though I would rather you bite somewhere else. My head suddenly flooded with heat. You are a pervert. She shook her head and chuckled. Then she pushed me toward the bathroom. Take a shower before bed. I want to go back to school. You are sleeping here. I will not do anything to you. I grew desperate. My eyes slowly reddened. I stood there without moving or speaking. More and more tears streamed down my face. After a long silence, she looked at me and sighed deeply. Fine. I will take you back to school. Please stop crying. Shen Buyu took me back to school. She stood beneath the dormitory building and watched me go inside. The day's emotional turmoil left me utterly exhausted. When I returned to my dorm, I fell asleep the moment I lay down. Fortunately, the next day was the weekend. Shen Buyu did not come looking for me again. Because of that, I had a particularly peaceful few days. I usually worked part-time to support myself. My tuition and living expenses were paid for with my scholarship and wages. Since my previous part-time job had ended, I searched the part-time job group for something new. Soon, I noticed a message posted in the group. Male model urgently needed this weekend. Must be at least 178 centimeters tall. Pay 2,000 yuan an hour. Location, Kingshan Gallery. Delighted, I added the contact on WeChat and sent over a photo. Less than 10 minutes later, I received a message saying I had been accepted. Congratulations. You passed the screening. Please come to the gallery now. Humming a little tune, I secretly celebrated my good fortune. After getting ready, I took a taxi to Kingshan Gallery. After I got out, a staff member at the entrance led me into a studio. Mr. He will be here shortly. Please wait a moment. Could Mr. He be the famous painter Higu? I wondered. Suddenly, a man pushed open the door and walked in. He was very young and tall and slender. He wore simple white clothes, just as I had seen him on television. It really was the renowned painter Higu. He smiled at me warmly. I am holding an art exhibition next month. You fit the exhibition's theme perfectly. I nodded to thank him. Following his instructions, I sat in the chair. As he painted, I quickly realized that being an artist model was not easy. I had to sit for several hours without moving a muscle. I did not know how much time had passed before my lower back began to ache, but afraid of disturbing his work, I quietly shifted my posture. Higu noticed my movement and set down his brush. He had someone bring me a glass of water. I smiled at him and accepted the water, finishing it. After a while, sleepiness slowly overcame me. I had no idea the water had been drugged. Just as my head began to droop, a pair of porcelain white hands caught my face. Higu glanced at the newcomer and slowly set down his brush. You made me turn down an overseas exhibition and come all the way back just to help you chase a man. If you win him over, I will invest 100 million yuan in your gallery. Deal. Shen Buyu glanced at the hard chair I had been sitting on. She frowned. You did not even think to give my sweetheart a more comfortable chair. No wonder you still have not found a girlfriend. Higu looked helpless. Miss Shen, do you have to meddle in my private affairs too? Shen Buyu gave a soft scoff. Then she had someone bring in a sofa, holding me in her arms. She lounged against it. Make me look good. The portrait of me and my sweetheart must be displayed in Jingxi's most prominent exhibition hall. I want everyone in the city to see it clearly. Higu was thoroughly amused by Shen Buyu. I do not think this handsome young man is vain. Even if he knew you were putting on an exhibition for him, he probably would not be moved enough to accept your proposal. Shen Buyu shot him a deadly glare. Shut that jinxing mouth of yours. Shen Buyu then shifted me through several different poses. Sometimes she rested my head on her shoulder, and sometimes adjusted my dangling hand. She did not seem tired at all. If anything, she seemed unable to get enough of holding me. When I began showing signs of waking, Shen Buyu reluctantly let me go. Before leaving, she gently kissed my lips. Higu shook his head speechlessly. Miss Shen, please do not make me part of your intimate games. Jealous, are you? What can I say? I have such a beautiful, well-behaved sweetheart. Not only can I kiss him, but I can have plenty of fun too. Higu was speechless. He only wanted to get her out of there quickly. When I finally woke up groggily, I realized I had fallen asleep on the sofa. I hurriedly sat up. I am sorry, Mr. He. I did not expect to fall asleep. It is all right. It gave me some new inspiration. He handed me the completed painting. I took it and examined it carefully. In the portrait, I was reclining on the sofa. The window was half open. A breeze lifted the loose strands of hair on my forehead. Sunlight fell across my face. Under Higu's brush, I looked incredibly lifelike. I was deeply moved. He truly was a renowned painter. When my phone rang, I received a notification that 10,000 yuan had been deposited into my account. I looked up at him with a grateful smile. He smiled and stood up. Next weekend, if you are free, would you model for me again? I happily agreed. On Sunday, I hurried to the gallery as promised. I had just left campus and was waiting for a car when several muscular men suddenly appeared. The leader looked me up and down. Are you Fang Xiu? Seeing the imposing group, my expression changed. No, You have the wrong person. As soon as I finished speaking, the car I had called arrived. I immediately rushed toward the door, but before I could reach the handle, someone seized me by the shoulder. I was yanked back. I struggled desperately and called to the driver for help. The leader shot the driver a look and threatened coldly, "Call the police, and you will never get by in Jingbei again." Soon, I was dragged into a van. "Your foster father borrowed money from our casino and could not repay it. He used you as collateral." The leader produced a written contract bearing a red seal. When I saw the collateral contract, my face went deathly pale. The burly man in the driver's seat snorted. Then he started the van and drove away. When we reached the casino, I was handed over to a woman around 40. She looked me up and down, her eyes filled with admiration. "Brother Lin, where did you find such a handsome man?" "His foster father lost money and offered him as collateral. He is even a university student. Keep an eye on him. Then send him upstairs to serve the guest on the second floor." "Leave it to me." After she left, I forced myself to calm down. "You had better let me go. My girlfriend's family has enormous power. Once she realizes I am missing, none of you will get away." The woman laughed. "Kid, I have heard that speech countless times. Unless that heiress from Jingbei comes here herself, you will never escape. My girlfriend is Shen Buyu." The woman froze for several seconds before sneering. "I have never heard that Miss Shen has a boyfriend with skin as soft as yours. You probably do not want to suffer. So, behave yourself. With a face like yours, I guarantee you will live like royalty. But if you refuse to cooperate, do not blame me for drugging you and make you wag your tail and beg to serve those guests." My heart sank, knowing that resistance would end badly. I could only pretend to submit and wait for a chance to escape. After a long pause, I slowly said, "Fine. I will do as you say." The woman smiled in satisfaction. She had someone take me to change clothes. "The guest will arrive soon. I will teach you how to serve a guest." Meanwhile, because I had missed our appointment, Higu could not reach me by phone and contacted Shen Buyu directly. "He did not come today. I cannot reach him by phone. I am worried something happened to him." Shen Buyu's expression turned grim. She immediately dropped everything at the company and sped to the university. There, she found Yang Jian. Yang Jian's expression changed. He pulled out his phone and called me, but it showed that my phone was switched off. Fang Xiu would never disappear without saying anything. "Oh, right? His foster father threatened him again a few days ago. Could that man have taken him?" Shen Buyu furrowed her brow. "Why would his foster father threaten him? You do not know. Fang Xiu's foster father is a gambling addict. When Fang Xiu was in high school, he not only beat him, but nearly forced him to drop out and get a job." Hearing Yang Jian's words, Shen Buyu's expression darkened by the second. She had never imagined that the man she treasured most had been treated that way. She turned and walked away, dialing a number as she went. "Find the casino Fang Xiu's foster father frequents. I want its exact location within 10 minutes. Someone on the other end acknowledged the order. Shen Buyu got into the car. Her fingers tightened around the steering wheel until her knuckles turned white. So Fang Xiu had been through all that. It felt as if something had clamped hard around her heart. The pain nearly left her unable to breathe. Amid the roar of the engine, she started the car and sped off. A private room on the casino's second floor. I entered the room with several handsome young men. The room was spacious and lavishly decorated. Several wealthy young women sat around the table. We were led to Lu Shuang, the wealthy heiress seated on a leather sofa. Someone called out obsequiously, "Miss Lu." Lu Shuang raised her eyes and sized up the boys and girls who had entered. When her gaze settled on me, interest flickered in her eyes. "Oh. When did your casino get such a beautiful young man? He only arrived today. After teaching him the basics, we brought him straight to you." Lu Shuang rose from the sofa and tilted my chin up. "So innocent. He looks like a student. You did not kidnap an underage boy, did you? Miss Lu, you really know how to joke. He is a top student at Jingbei University. His foster father used him to settle a debt, and he came here willingly. A student from Jingbei University. Such a smart young man. I like him even more now. She chose me, while the others went to serve the wealthy women nearby." The woman gave me a few careful instructions. Before leaving the room, Lu Shuang leaned back on the sofa with her legs crossed. "What is your name?" "Fang Xiu. Not only are you handsome, but even your name sounds lovely." I remained silent. Lu Shuang watched my awkward, nervous reaction with great interest. "Do you know how to serve someone?" I pressed my lips together and walked to the liquor cabinet. I selected an expensive bottle of red wine. Carrying the bottle, I crouched in front of her and slowly poured the wine into her glass. Lu Shuang raised an eyebrow. "You chose the finest bottle. You have good taste." I said nothing. The only reason I knew about these wines was because Shen Buyu had taught me before. Lu Shuang's long fingers rested lightly on the sofa's armrest. "What else do you know? Tell me about it." I told her all sorts of things about red wine. When I finally mentioned food pairings, a glint flickered in my eyes. I heard that pairing red wine with grilled pineapple makes the flavor more complex. Lu Shuang called over a waiter. A short while later, The waiter brought in a plate of grilled pineapple. I picked up a fork and offered a piece of pineapple to the woman's lips. Lu Shuang clearly enjoyed being waited on, but after eating half the plate of pineapple, she suddenly frowned. She felt a faint discomfort in her stomach. She did not know red wine and pineapple could upset the stomach. Noticing something was wrong, I feigned concern. Miss Lu, what is wrong? I am fine. I just need the restroom. Would you like me to help you there? Lu Shuang nodded. There was a private restroom in the VIP room. I helped her to the restroom door. After watching her go inside, my expression relaxed. I cautiously scanned the room. The wealthy young women were occupied with their companions and did not notice me. I deliberately spilled wine on my clothes. Then I pretended to leave the room to change. But just as my hand was about to touch the doorknob, a roguish voice stopped me from behind. I caught my little prey trying to run. My body stiffened. I slowly turned around. I looked toward the voice and saw a young woman in a camisole. She looked at me with ill intent. You have misunderstood. I only got my clothes dirty. I was going back to change into something clean. The moment I entered, Zhou, you had noticed me. Unfortunately, Lu Shuang had chosen me first. So Zhou, you could not make a move. Now that Lu Shuang was gone, she finally had a chance to approach me. You will get dirty later anyway. Changing would be pointless. She closed in on me, deliberately letting her gaze roam over my body. I frowned. I pushed her away, my expression turning cold. I belong to Miss Lu. You do not really think Lu Shuang likes you, do you? You are only a passing novelty to her. Once she is tired of you, she will give you to us. You came here to serve people. What difference does it make who touches you? Why pretend to be innocent? As soon as she finished speaking, she grabbed my wrist and dragged me toward a private room inside the VIP suite. My eyes filled with disgust and resistance. I struggled violently. I caught sight of the bottle of red wine on the table. I steeled myself. I wrenched free of her grip, snatched up the bottle, and smashed it against the table's edge. Flying shards sliced into my calf. I aimed the jagged bottle neck at her. Do not come closer. Zhou, you was startled by my sudden move. Oh. You have got quite a temper. She reached for the bottle in my hand. Just as her hand was about to touch my wrist, the VIP room door was kicked open with a heavy blow. Shen Buyu stood in the doorway. The sight of me being bullied made her completely furious. She radiated an icy chill. She did not shout or make a scene. She only looked coldly at Zhou. She looked at Zhou as if she were already dead. Touch him. Just try it. Her voice was quiet, yet it froze Zhou where she stood. Shen Buyu walked toward her step by step. Her high heels struck the floor, each click sharp and clear. The arrogance on Zhou's face vanished instantly. And Miss Shen. Shen Buyu came to stand before me and shielded me behind her. She looked down at Zhou. Her calm tone was terrifying. I heard every word outside the door. You said it does not matter who touches him. I was just joking. Joking. Shen Buyu gave a quiet laugh, but there was no amusement in her eyes. Then if I break one of your arms and say I was joking, would you accept that? Zhou's legs went weak with fear. She staggered backward. Miss Shen, I was wrong. I really was. I did not know he belonged to you. Shen Buyu did not look at her again. She turned to check on me. When her eyes fell on my bleeding calf, she immediately took off her coat and wrapped it around me. She had the men outside lift me up. Before leaving, she gave a final order without looking back. Zhou, from today on, I do not want to see you in Jing City again. Zhou, you collapsed onto the floor, her face ashen. Just then, Lu Shuang emerged from the restroom. She noticed the blood on the floor, and Zhou, you lying limp there? She frowned deeply. But when Lu Shuang saw that the man she had set her sights on was lying beside Shen Buyu, she narrowed her eyes. Miss Shen, where are you taking my man? Shen Buyu stopped in her tracks. A terrifying viciousness flashed in her eyes. Your man? Lu Shuang. Listen to me carefully. If you dare set your sights on my man again, even if you are my cousin, I will not let you off. As for what happened today, I will settle this score with you later. Lu Shuang frowned. Clearly, she had no idea Shen Buyu had gotten a boyfriend, even if she were dating someone. As the future heir of the Shen group, how could she choose a boy whose status was completely beneath her own? At the door, Shen Buyu swept her gaze coldly over everyone in the room. Her voice was icy. Keep your people under control. If I see something like this again, every last one of you will pay dearly. With that, Shen Buyu took me out of the room. She told her men to set me down, gently in the front passenger seat. She started the car. The speed soared to 180 kilometers per hour. As Shen Buyu drove, she called the Shen Group's private hospital. By the time the car stopped at the hospital entrance, medical staff were already waiting with a gurney. Shen Buyu got out and ran alongside the gurney into the hospital. The glass had lodged deeply, so I needed minor surgery and stitches. Shen Buyu remained in the operating room. She stayed by my side, holding my hand tightly. There was an almost imperceptible tremor in her voice. Sweetheart, do not be afraid. I will not let anything happen to you. Seeing her slightly reddened eyes, I froze. This was the second time I had seen her cry. The first time was 3 years ago. After my foster mother died, I tried to take my own life. She burst into the bathroom, her eyes full of terror, and lingering fear. For some reason, my deadened heart seemed to kindle a faint light in that moment. A moment later, I squeezed Shen Buyu's hand back and nodded. The operation lasted 2 hours. After I was wheeled out of the operating room, the anesthesia had not yet worn off. Shen Buyu gazed at my sleeping face and bent down to kiss my forehead. Do not worry. Those who hurt you, I will not spare a single one of them. She walked out onto the terrace and made a call. Within 1 hour, find that man and bring him to me. When I woke up, I found Shen Buyu still watching over me. When she saw that I was awake, she gently touched my face. Are you hungry? I had our housekeeper make some porridge. Would you like to sit up and have some? I had not eaten all afternoon, so I truly was hungry. Shen Buyu propped a pillow behind my back. She sat beside the hospital bed, scooped up a spoonful of chicken porridge, blew it cool, then brought it to my lips. I swallowed it 1 spoonful at a time. After she fed me the porridge, Shen Buyu's phone rang. Shen Buyu's men worked efficiently. After checking every casino in Jing City, they successfully found my foster father's trail. President Shen, we have him. For now, we have him locked up in an abandoned factory beside the hospital. We are awaiting your orders. Keep watch on him. I will be there shortly. After hanging up, Shen Buyu bent down and patted my head. I need to handle something. I will be back soon. Call me if you need anything. I nodded obediently and waved goodbye to her. When she returned to the hospital, Shen Buyu had barely entered my room. When she saw my roommates there, Yang Jian turned to Shen Buyu. President Shen, thank you for what you did. Shen Buyu replied evenly. He is my boyfriend. Protecting him is my responsibility. Yang Jian looked as if he had just heard some juicy gossip. He stared back and forth between us in astonishment. After a long moment, he turned back and squeezed my hand. I have told our advisor about what happened. Stay in the hospital and recover these next few days. Do not worry about your classes. I smiled. Thank you, Yang Jian. After my roommates left, Shen Buyu sat beside my bed. She told me she had dealt with my foster father without asking me first. He will spend the rest of his life behind bars. He will never threaten you again, and no one will ever hurt you again. Will you blame me for doing this? Shen Buyu looked uneasy. After all, that man was my foster father. It would have been natural if I had spared him out of familial affection. She feared her decision would earn my disgust and hatred. After hearing her out, I seriously shook my head. I will not pity him, and I will not blame you. At my words, Shen Buyu finally relaxed. She had learned the whole truth about that year from Fang Qiang. I had deliberately approached her because Fang Qiang threatened me. If I had not done it, Fang Qiang would have beaten my foster mother again and again. Back then, Shen Buyu loved me desperately and spoiled me. She wanted to give me the very best of everything. Fang Qiang exploited that, gambling away every penny he got. Later, so she would not become a burden to me. After my college entrance exams, on the day my acceptance letter arrived, my foster mother took her own life at home. Shen Buyu remembered the day we broke up. I must have tried to take my own life because I could not bear the blow of my foster mother's death. She stroked my face tenderly, blaming herself for not realizing it sooner. Baby, let me protect you openly, all right? After everything that happened, something inside me quietly changed. My heart, once filled with loneliness and coldness, seemed to have been warmed by her and slowly came alive again. I hooked my finger around hers and looked up at her. Shen Buyu, let us get back together. Shen Buyu thought she had misheard me. Her fingers clenched tightly, and her voice turned hoarse. What did you just say? Say it again. I held her hand against my cheek. Let us get back together. Shen Buyu's eyes reddened uncontrollably. She bent down, hugged me, and nuzzled into my chest. I finally have a proper place by your side. Her words made me laugh. I leaned in and kissed her lips. The gloom in Shen Buyu's eyes vanished at once. A bright flame lit up within them. I want more. She moved close and gripped the back of my neck, not letting me pull away. My cheeks burned. Close your eyes. Shen Buyu obediently closed them. I kissed every inch of her face. Shen Buyu's breath caught. I threw myself into her arms, shaking my head with a flushed face. No more kisses. No more. Shen Buyu wrapped an arm around my waist and looked up at me, a little aggrieved. Are you torturing me on purpose? No. This is your reward. Shen Buyu pinched my cheek. Do not tempt me. I stared at her with wide, innocent eyes. She was out of options, so she took a cold shower in the hospital bathroom. Once we made our relationship official, Buyu immediately had me move into her villa with her. I opened my suitcase and searched through it. Confused, I had clearly brought several sets of underwear from my dorm. So, why was not a single one there? I need to go back to my dorm. I still have things to collect. Shen Buyu glanced at the suitcase. Of course, she would not tell me that she had hidden them. I will buy you new ones. No need. I do not want to waste money. Shen Buyu stuffed a black card into my hand. What else do I earn money for, if not to spend on you? I have money. I do not need yours. Why are you drawing such a line between us? If you will not accept things from me, then you do not love me. If you will not spend my money, then you must dislike me. I have only just started dating, and I am already getting dumped. I did not know whether to laugh or cry. I scratched her palm. Alright. Stop being silly. Shen Buyu pursed her lips. Who comforts someone that half-heartedly? Even when comforting a child, you know to give them a kiss. She bent down and brought her face close to mine. I smiled and gave her cheek a light kiss. Shen Buyu's lips curved in satisfaction. She put an arm around me and led me outside until my leg fully healed. Buyu became both my private driver and my human crutch. One morning, Shen Buyu changed into simple casual clothes. She carried my bag and supported me as we walked toward the academic building. The boys around us looked starry-eyed, pulling out their phones to take pictures. I was not used to being watched like that. I tugged on her sleeve. Let go of me. I can walk by myself. My hand is glued to your waist. I cannot let go at all. My face turned red again. The elevator on the first floor was packed. Shen Buyu took one look and headed for the stairs beside it. There were plenty of people coming and going on the stairs too. She did not want anyone touching me. She stopped a male student and tossed him a card. Clear the way ahead of us. This card has 100,000 yuan on it. It is yours. The student was stunned when he heard 100,000. Then he looked down at the bank card. He was so excited he could barely speak. You got it. Leave it to me. With the student clearing the way, the crowd around Shen Buyu gradually thinned. Finally, before the bell rang, I made it to the classroom. Shen Buyu scanned the spacious lecture hall, then led me to seats against the wall in the last row. Have you heard the saying? The last row is perfect for getting up to no good. I ignored her and took out my notebook for class. Shen Buyu did not look at the screen at the front of the room. Instead, she rested her chin on her hand and watched me take notes. Before long, she could not resist teasing me. She kissed along my knuckles. I lightly poked her. We are in class. Stop fooling around. Class has been going for 20 minutes, and you have not even looked at me once. Is that cold electronic whiteboard really better looking than me? I sighed helplessly. When no one was looking, I kissed her cheek. Shen Buyu suddenly leaned down and pecked my lips. Blushing, I pushed her away. The lecture hall was a little stuffy. Shen Buyu took out her phone and sent a text. Soon, several workers entered carrying blocks of ice. They placed them around the classroom, with the most in the last row. I looked at the woman beside me. Did you send them? I was afraid you would be hot, so I brought ice to cool you down. The ice made the area much cooler, but her hand was hot, and the more she touched me, the hotter I got. Blushing, I pulled my hand back. Shen Buyu looked at me and chuckled softly. At last, class ended. Shen Buyu led me out of the classroom. She carried my bag in one hand and held my hand with the other as we headed for the school gate. I followed her pace, still thinking about something from class. Walking absent-mindedly, Shen Buyu noticed I was distracted. She stopped walking and squeezed my fingers. What are you thinking about? Nothing. She leaned closer. Her nose nearly brushed mine. If it is nothing, then you must be thinking about me. Her sudden closeness made me lean back. My ears grew warm. Do not get so close. We are still at school. Shen Buyu chuckled softly. She did not tease me further and held my hand as we continued onward. When we got back to the villa, the housekeeper had dinner ready. I sat at the table, eating quietly. Shen Buyu sat across from me, occasionally placing food in my bowl. She barely ate anything herself. Why are you not eating? Watching you eat is enough to fill me up. I put a piece of pork rib into her bowl. You should eat too. Shen Buyu looked down at the rib in her bowl, then looked back at me. The corner of her lips lifted. My sweet darling put this on my plate. I will definitely finish it. After dinner, I found a movie to watch in the living room. Shen Buyu came out after her shower and sat beside me. Without saying a word, she rested against my shoulder. The movie had barely begun when the scene started turning suggestive. I sensed something was off. Just as I was about to turn it off, Shen Buyu's arms had already wrapped around me from behind. Who would have guessed? So, you like this kind of movie? I did not know what it was about. I just picked one at random. Shen Buyu did not respond. She only nestled closer into my arms. The movie kept playing, but her fingers began to wander. They slowly trailed down my body until she clasped my hand. Shen Buyu, do not do this. My voice trembled slightly. She raised her head, her eyes smiling. I have not done anything. I glared at her, my face red. That glare from me only made Shen Buyu laugh harder. She leaned over and kissed the corner of my lips. The sounds from the movie faded into the background. On the couch, Shen Buyu held me close. My breathing slowly grew uneven. My fingers gripped the hem of her clothes, my knuckles turning white. Her kisses fell on my forehead, then moved to the corner of my eye, before finally lingering at my lips. I did not push her away. I only closed my eyes and let her breath surround me. Even when I repeatedly begged her to stop, she still would not let me go. Because of that, I ignored her for 3 straight days and moved right back into my dorm without her bothering me. I even felt much more refreshed. Meanwhile, Yang Jian packed while asking me, Fang Xiu, have you packed everything? Yes, more or less. Yang Jian and I had specifically chosen the same elective. The professor was taking the students to a farm for an off-campus practical activity. Since we would stay there overnight, the school had prepared tents in advance. We had to bring our own daily necessities. The bus left promptly at 8 o'clock, but halfway there, the professor got a call saying the venue had changed. We were going to a place called Yuyu Manor instead. When the bus arrived, we saw a grand villa built like a castle, an endless golf course, and an outdoor swimming pool. Everyone gasped in amazement. The professor relayed the principal's message. We were to enjoy ourselves at the manor. The students cheered excitedly. Then more than a dozen servants emerged from the living room, carrying swimsuits prepared in advance. I could not swim, and did not intend to get in the water, so I sat in a chair by the pool, watching Yang Jian change into a stylish swimsuit and play freely in the pool. After a while, he swam to the edge and poked my calf. Fang Xiu, come in and have some fun too. I will find you an inflatable ring. Then you will not choke on the water. He was having so much fun that I nodded. I chose a pair of longer swim trunks and, guided by a maid, went to a private changing room. Just as I adjusted the waistband, the light suddenly went out. Then, a pair of arms shot out from beside me. A figure lunged forcefully into my arms. I was so startled that I nearly screamed. The woman in front of me quickly covered my mouth. She pinned me against the wall. Sweetheart, you smell so good. I struggled desperately. Shen Buyu sensed something was wrong. Afraid she had frightened me too badly, she finally let go. When the lights came back on, I saw that the person tormenting me was Shen Buyu. Furious, I lunged at her. Shen Buyu, you jerk. Why did you scare me? Shen Buyu sounded aggrieved instead. You have ignored me for 3 days, but right now, I do not want to see you at all. I pulled her hand away and angrily headed outside. Shen Buyu chased after me, hugging me tightly. Then she started playing pitiful again. I was in a car accident on my way here. Will you not show me a little concern? The moment I heard that, my heart clenched. My resolve to ignore her vanished at once. You are hurt? I am not hurt. You cannot see it from the outside. Maybe I have internal injuries. Do not say things like that. I will take you to the hospital for a checkup right now. No need to go to the hospital. There is a private doctor at the manor. I froze for a moment, then immediately understood. You own this manor. Shen Buyu slowly lowered her head. I bought Yuyu Manor 3 years ago. It was originally meant for our wedding. As part of the preparations, I was going to give this manor to you, but you did not want me anymore. You made a clean break when we split up. I finally realized that Yuyu Manor combined both our names. The private doctor soon arrived at the manor. Shen Buyu gave the doctor a look, and the doctor immediately understood. Miss Shen is fortunate. Her injuries are not serious. She only needs medication and rest. But while she is recovering, try not to upset the patient. It would be best to meet the patient's request whenever possible. I had absolutely no doubts about the doctor's words. I helped her upstairs to lie down in a bedroom. Shen Buyu patted the space beside her, inviting me to sleep with her. I glanced at it and refused. The doctor said you need proper rest. If I am beside you, you will not be able to sleep. With you beside me, I sleep better. She took my hand and forcefully pulled me onto the bed. I was forced to lie in her arms. Shen Buyu lowered her head and deliberately nuzzled into the crook of my neck. My ears instantly turned red. I raised a hand to push her away. What are you doing? Just get some sleep. This helps me fall asleep faster. I could not push her away, and I was afraid of hurting her. After trying a few times, I had no choice but to give up. After a while, soft, steady breathing came from the bed. I looked down and saw that the person in my arms seemed to be asleep. Once asleep, her whole demeanor softened. Carefully, I moved her arm from around my waist. Then I quietly slipped out of bed. After one last glance at her, I left the room. The moment I appeared by the pool in my swim trunks, I drew quite a few stairs. The black trunks made my legs look long and my waist slim. Under the incandescent lights, my skin glowed softly. The style was simple, but my good proportions made it look great. Just standing there, I was hard to look away from. Yang Jian swam ashore, shaking the water from his hair. He gave my shoulder a hard slap. Not bad, man. You have been hiding that body of yours. You finally decided to show it off today. His slap made me stumble forward. I blushed slightly. Cut it out. Yang Jian grinned. He picked up a little duck float from the ground and handed it to me. Come on, put this on. I will let you experience floating on water. I took the float and put it around myself. Tentatively, I dipped my toes into the water. The water was cool, wrapping around my exposed skin. My body floated on the surface, my fingers paddling through the water. Slowly, I began to swim. Before long, several girls eagerly swam over, offering to teach me how to swim. I politely turned them down. They left looking disappointed. At the other end of the pool, Shangyuan saw the scene and nearly burst with rage. Ever since my photos were posted on the forum, the title of campus heartthrob had gone to someone else. Even the perks he once enjoyed had almost disappeared. That was why he hated me. Yuan, Shangyuan's lackey, pointed at me. He spoke up indignantly. Shangyuan, he stole your spotlight. Are you not angry? As he spoke, his eyes shifted. But I know how to teach him a lesson. I was floating in the pool, and chatting with Yang Jian when a girl suddenly interrupted us. She said she wanted Yang Jian to teach her swimming. Yang Jian looked at me, wanting to decline tactfully. I understood his concern and shook my head at him. It is fine. You do not have to stay here with me. Go have fun too. What about you? I will stay by the edge of the pool. I will not wander off. He patted my shoulder. If anything happens, call for me. After they left, I started swimming toward the poolside too. But halfway there, someone suddenly bumped into me from behind. Fortunately, I had the float, so I did not go under. When I turned around, there was no one behind me. I suppressed my unease and kept swimming toward the edge. Soon, the noise behind me began to fade. It seemed something had happened at the other end of the pool, drawing everyone over there. No one noticed that someone had punctured my little duck float. It was deflating rapidly. By the time I noticed, it was too late. Without support, my body plunged straight toward the bottom of the pool. I flailed my arms in panic, trying to cry out for help. But the moment I opened my mouth, pool water rushed wildly down my throat, leaving me unable to speak. My ears rang. Water kept flooding into my lungs, stealing my breath bit by bit. Darkness swam before my eyes, and my consciousness began to fade. Someone saw that I was drowning and shouted to the crowd. Everyone rushed desperately toward me. Shangyuan had deliberately drawn everyone to the other side of the pool. They could no longer reach me in time. They could only watch helplessly as I sank to the bottom. Yang Jian watched in horror. Fang Xiu. At that critical moment, a figure suddenly appeared on the shore and leaped into the pool without hesitation. I struggled to open my eyes. Through the shimmering water, I dimly saw a painfully familiar figure swimming rapidly toward me. It was Shen Buyu. She had come to save me. Shen Buyu caught my sinking body, pulling me tightly into her arms. Then she fought through the water toward shore with me. Once we reached shore, I braced myself and violently coughed up mouthfuls of water. My throat burned with piercing pain. I collapsed in her arms, gasping for air. Shen Buyu wrapped my body in a bath towel. She gently stroked my cheek. I could feel her palm trembling. Yang Jian rushed to my side too, his eyes red-rimmed. I am sorry. I should not have left. After coughing up the water, I lay pale-faced in Shen Buyu's arms. Only then did I realize that someone had tried to hurt me. I grabbed Shen Buyu's arm. The float. Shen Buyu understood instantly. She immediately ordered her bodyguards to retrieve the deflated float from the pool. After inspecting it closely, they found exactly what they expected. A tiny hole punctured by something sharp. Shen Buyu had the bodyguards bring everyone over. Her face icy, she ordered. Search them one by one. Shangyuan went pale. He had not expected Shen Buyu to be here, let alone that she owned the manor. He had found no visible cameras nearby, which was why he had dared to act so brazenly. Shangyuan grew afraid and could not stop himself from shuddering. After what had happened, everyone cooperated. They placed their jewelry and waterproof watches all on the ground. The bodyguards searched the surrounding area and the pool bottom as well. Finally, based on the size of the hole in the float, they compared every item one by one. President Shen, we found it. Shen Buyu took the swan brooch from the bodyguard. She held it beneath the light and examined it for a few seconds. She turned around, her gaze slowly passing over everyone present. The entire crowd fell silent. Who does this belong to? No one answered. The brooch was from a niche overseas luxury brand. To show off, Shangyuan had worn it at school several times. A girl hesitantly spoke up. I think I have seen Shangyuan wear it. Shangyuan cursed inwardly and hurriedly defended himself. My brooch went missing an hour ago. Someone must have stolen it to frame me on purpose. His lackey immediately backed him up. Shangyuan is right. I can vouch for him. Someone must be jealous because Shangyuan is handsome and rich. That is why they did this. Whether the brooch was truly lost was something no one knew. Shen Buyu gave a cold snort. No one wants to admit it. Fine. I have plenty of time. I can wait you all out. Without Shen Buyu's permission, no one dared leave the manor. Shangyuan could not help muttering resentfully. This is all your fault. Who told you to come up with such a stupid idea? The lackey bit his lip, looking aggrieved. Was I not only trying to help you teach him a lesson? Who knew Shen Buyu would show up here? Meanwhile, a bodyguard approached Shen Buyu and reported what he had found. President Shen, among these people, there is a student named Shangyuan, who had previously posted numerous malicious comments about Mr. Fang Xiu on the forum. The bodyguard enlarged an image on his phone. It showed the comments Shangyuan had anonymously posted on the forum. Shen Buyu continued scrolling through the screen. When her gaze stopped on one page, her fingers suddenly froze. With that bitter, spiteful look, how did he ever get voted the former campus heartthrob? The bodyguard lowered his head, not daring to say a word. After reviewing the information, Shen Buyu put down the phone. Her gaze finally settled on Shangyuan. Shangyuan's face went pale. He even forced a smile, desperately pretending to stay calm. Miss Shen, why are you looking at me? You cannot say I did it just because of that brooch, can you? Shen Buyu ignored him and ordered the bodyguard. Check the security footage. Shangyuan's expression changed. He had checked there were no visible cameras around. But he had not expected that when Shen Buyu built this manor to ensure its security, she had installed cameras in nearly every public area. They were simply so well hidden that they were nearly impossible to spot. A bodyguard quickly brought over a tablet. Security footage from beside the pool played on the screen. The footage clearly showed that after I entered the water, Shangyuan and his lackey had lingered nearby. Then he took out a tiny object, exchanged a smile with his lackey, and slipped underwater with it clutched in his hand. Although the underwater footage was unclear, this clip was enough to prove what happened. After watching the video, Shen Buyu handed the tablet to the bodyguard beside her, then walked over to Shangyuan. Shangyuan was completely panicked. His lips trembled as he tried to explain. I just wanted to go for a swim. You need to take a sharp brooch underwater to swim. My boyfriend's float has a puncture hole that perfectly matches this brooch. Do you think I would believe that is a coincidence? Shangyuan's face turned utterly white. Shen Buyu did not waste another word on him. She turned to the bodyguards and ordered, "Call the police. Report this to the school as well. I will sue him afterward." Shangyuan finally broke down, his voice rising shrill. "You cannot do this. My father is the chairman of the Ling Group. He will not let you get away with this." Shen Buyu laughed. "The Ling Group? Ask your father whether he has what it takes to protect you." Shangyuan collapsed to the ground and was dragged away by the bodyguards. Everyone present was intimidated by Shen Buyu's methods. No one even dared to breathe. Yet Shen Buyu acted as nothing had happened. She turned and came back to my side. She ordered the bodyguards to help me to my room. "Come on. I will take you upstairs to rest." Her tone left no room for refusal as she headed straight for the house. Back in the bedroom, they laid me on the bed. She turned and got a dry towel from the bathroom, then sat beside me and dried my hair. Her touch was gentle, nothing like the decisive Miss Shen from earlier. Watching her focused profile, I suddenly asked, "Are you really going to destroy the Lin family?" Shen Buyu did not stop what she was doing. "He nearly got you killed. I am only making him pay the price. Is that not a little too?" "No." She cut me off and put down the towel. Then she cupped my face in both hands and looked at me seriously. "Fang Xiu, listen carefully. Anyone who hurts you, I will make them regret they were ever born." Her gaze was too intense. So intense it made my heart pound with unease. I lowered my lashes and said nothing. Seeing my silence, Shen Buyu thought she had frightened me. Her tone softened. "Did I scare you?" When I shook my head, she only sighed. She pulled me into her arms. "I was just scared. If I had arrived 1 second later today, the consequences would have been unthinkable." "Fang Xiu, I cannot lose you again." I rested against her shoulder, breathing in her faint shower gel scent. An indescribable emotion rose within me. After a long while, I finally gave a quiet hum. Shen Buyu said nothing else. She simply held me quietly, her fingers stroking through my hair again and again. After a while, she kissed my forehead. "Rest well. I am going out for some air." I nodded and watched her leave the room. After the door closed, I turned over, staring blankly at the ceiling. Too much had happened today, too quickly. I could barely process it all. Shen Buyu's decisive methods were frightening, but I knew she had done it all for me. More than 10 minutes passed, but Shen Buyu had not returned. I sat up in bed and hesitated, but eventually got up. I left the bedroom. I did not see her in the second-floor hallway, so I went downstairs. Just as I reached the first-floor corner, I saw Shen Buyu standing in the courtyard. I walked over and peeked out from behind her. "Did you not say you were getting some air? Why are you hiding out here?" My sudden appearance startled Shen Buyu. I moved around to face her. My stare made Shen Buyu uneasy. She leaned close and pinched my cheek. "Are you mad?" "I am not mad. I am worried about you." Shen Buyu froze for a moment. I looked down at her hand. Her fingers were long and pale. "Are you upset over what happened today?" She paused, then took my hand with a serious expression. "The moment I saw you sink to the bottom of the pool today, my heart stopped. When I dealt with Shangyuan afterward, there was only one thought in my mind. If he had truly done something to you, I do not dare imagine it." Hearing the tremor in her voice, I tightened my grip on her hand, threading our fingers together. "I am fine. Am I not?" "What if you were not?" "There is no what if. You came in time and saved me." Shen Buyu looked at me. The darkness in her eyes slowly faded, replaced by a soft glimmer. She hugged me, resting her chin on my shoulder. "All right, I will listen to you." Then she paused before speaking in a muffled voice. "Fang Xiu, then, may I ask for a little reward?" "What reward?" She lifted her head, and her lips covered mine. I saw it coming clearly, but I did not pull away. Instead, I closed my eyes and kissed her back. An hour later, I touched my burning face and shyly pushed her away. "All right. Let us go back inside. It is cold out here." After Shen Buyu and I returned to the room, the first thing she did was not change clothes. She locked the door instead. Click. I looked up at her. "Why did you lock the door?" Shen Buyu stood by the door, looking at me. "In case you run away again." For a moment, I had no response. She said it so naturally, as if I had not run away in the middle of the night 3 years ago. I sat on the edge of the bed, just as I was about to take off my wet jacket. Shen Buyu had already brought over a towel. She draped it over my head. Her movements were gentle, but her words were anything but. Sit still. She held me in place as she dried my hair. Once the room fell quiet, the sound of the pool water seemed to rise in my ears again. I closed my eyes, and the next second, Shen Buyu's hand stopped. She asked, still feeling unwell? I shook my head. No. She stared at me for 2 seconds, clearly unconvinced. So, I had to put it another way. It just came back to me all at once. Shen Buyu said nothing. She set the towel aside and crouched in front of me. She reached out and touched my fingers, then frowned. Why are they still so cold? I looked down and realized my fingertips had indeed gone a little white. Just as I tried to pull away, Shen Buyu had already taken my hand. Her hand was cold too. I froze for a moment. Why is your hand so cold too? Shen Buyu remained calm. It is normal. How is that normal? She had jumped into the pool to save me. Afterward, she had been busy investigating and dealing with Lin Shangyuan, then bringing me back here. Everyone had crowded around me, asking if I was all right. No one had dared ask whether she was cold. I grabbed her wrist. Only then did I notice a shallow red mark beside her wrist bone. It stood against her pale skin. I immediately asked, how did you get this? Shen Buyu glanced at it. I probably scraped it when I went into the water. She said it so casually, as if it had happened to someone else. I got up to find the first aid kit. Shen Buyu sat on the bed, watching me search through the drawers. Fang Xiu, are you worried about me now? Without turning around, I said, say one more word, and I will call the doctor. She fell silent immediately. When I came back with cotton swabs, she was very cooperative. She simply held out her hand to me. I applied medicine to the cut. When the antiseptic touched her skin, she did not even flinch. I could not help saying, tell me if it hurts. Shen Buyu looked at me. You used to say that too. My hand paused. She added softly, back then, if I got even a tiny cut on my hand, you would lecture me for ages. I put on a bandage and pressed down its edges with my fingertips. Now I can lecture you too. Shen Buyu smiled. I continued. Do not get it wet for the next 2 days. Do not take it lightly. She nodded quickly. All right. I looked up at her. You agreed to quickly. I can tell you are not taking it seriously. Under my stare, Shen Buyu gave a light cough. I heard you. Really? I closed the first aid kit. You had better have. Just then, my phone vibrated. It was a message from Yang Jian. He asked whether I was feeling better and said he should not have left me alone by the pool. I replied, I'm fine. Do not dwell on it. As soon as I sent the message, Shen Buyu draped the towel over my head again. My vision went dark beneath it. What are you doing? She said lazily. Drying your hair. I pulled the towel off. I immediately saw her staring at my phone. I said, Yang Jian is just worried about me. Shen Buyu hummed. I know. She said she knew, but she took my phone right out of my hand and placed it face down on the nightstand. I was speechless. And this is what you call knowing. He has worried enough already. I looked at her. So, she sat beside me again and continued drying my hair. Now it is my turn. For a moment, I did not know how to argue with that. Just then, someone knocked at the door. Wang Shanshan's voice came through. I'm at the door. If you dare tell me you do not need me, I will leave right now, and I will chew you out first. I froze, but Shen Buyu was not surprised at all. She got up and opened the door. Wang Shanshan stood outside in high heels, holding a tiny bag bright enough to dazzle. She first saw Shen Buyu, then looked past her and saw me. The next second, her eyes lit up. So this is Fang Xiu. Shen Buyu stepped in front of me. Seen enough. Wang Shanshan immediately raised her hands. All right. I will not look. Hide your boyfriend away. Then, my ears grew a little warm, but Wang Shanshan was not done courting danger. Smiling, she added, no wonder you were so frantic. He really is quite irresistible. Shen Buyu gave her a cold look. Wang Shanshan immediately changed the subject. Business. Let us talk business. Shen Buyu pulled her outside. Yang Jian. Wang Shanshan clicked her tongue. I knew it. You did not call me over to catch up. You want me to distract him for you. From inside the room, I heard those 2 words. I nearly lost it. Run interference. Do rich young ladies always talk like business executives? Shen Buyu actually nodded. Yes. Wang Shanshan glanced into the room. So, how do I do that? Shen Buyu said. Keep him from hovering around Fang Xiu all the time. I quickly spoke up. Do not bully Yang Jian. Wang Shanshan winked at me. Relax. I am the most reasonable person there is. The more she said that, the less reassured I felt. But Shen Buyu had already closed the door. I looked at her. When did you call her? Shen Buyu set my phone back beside me. When you said your 3rd sentence to Yang Jian, I was speechless. She had actually counted them. I could not help saying, Shen Buyu, You are unbelievable. She lowered her head and kissed the tip of my ear. It is not like you only just realized that. A little after 10 that night, I lay awake in bed. It was not that I was not tired, but whenever I closed my eyes, I kept feeling as if I were still sinking underwater. Shen Buyu noticed I had not fallen asleep. She pulled me into her arms from behind. Still scared, I stubbornly said, "No." She placed her hand directly over my chest. "Your heart is racing. And you say you are not scared." I said nothing. Shen Buyu did not force me to admit it. She only held me a little tighter. "Then I will stay awake with you." She said it so naturally that I did not know what to do. After a while, my phone lit up. Yang Jian had sent a message. "We need one more in the game room. Coming." I sat up almost immediately. Shen Buyu's hand was still resting on my waist, and her expression changed at once. "You want to go?" I said. "I will go down and play a couple of rounds, just to distract myself." She looked at me, afraid she would not let me go. I added, "I will be back before 11. Shen Buyu said nothing, so I leaned closer and kissed her cheek. "I promise." Only then did she let go. "1 minute late, and I will come drag you back myself." I agreed quickly. As for whether I could return on time, I really did not think that far ahead. I followed the location Yang Jian sent and went to the game room on the first floor. The moment I pushed open the door, I saw Yang Jian sitting at the Mahjong table, with a look that said it all. "I have lost the will to live." Wang Shanshan sat beside him, holding a tile between her fingers, smiling brightly. I walked over and asked quietly, "Did you not say you needed one more?" Yang Jian glanced at Wang Shanshan. "We did." She insisted on coming along. Wang Shanshan immediately cut in. "Yang Jian, do not be so cold. I was simply drawn to your aura." Yang Jian remained expressionless. "What aura?" Wang Shanshan said. "The crystal clear aura of poverty." Yang Jian fell silent. I nearly laughed out loud. Yang Jian pushed the chips before him inward. "Then stay away from me." Wang Shanshan asked. "Why?" Yang Jian said solemnly. "I am afraid your wealthy aura will contaminate me." Wang Shanshan paused for 2 seconds, then laughed until her shoulders shook. "Where did Shen Buyu find a friend like you? Your mouth is vicious." Yang Jian immediately corrected her. "She did not find me. I am Fang Xiu's friend." The moment he said that, Wang Shanshan's hand froze midair. She propped up her chin and deliberately drew out her voice. "Oh, Fang Xiu's friend," I hurriedly said. "Do not get any ideas." Wang Shanshan smiled sweetly. "I am not getting any ideas. I just think Shen Buyu is rather pitiful." I asked, "Why is she pitiful?" Wang Shanshan tapped the table with one finger. "She was the one who saved you. She is the one who is jealous. And she is the one holding it in, too afraid to act up. Is that not pitiful?" Hearing that, Yang Jian finally looked up at me. Their stares made my scalp prickle. I could only lower my head and draw a tile. "Play. Stop talking about me." Wang Shanshan clicked her tongue. "Fine. We will protect the shy college boy." That mouth of hers really was perfect for running interference with Yang Jian. Wang Shanshan leaned over the table again. "Man, you have successfully caught my attention." Yang Jian took a deep breath. "Are rich people always this bored?" Wang Shanshan gave it serious thought. "Not really. Mostly, Shen Buyu assigned me a mission." After saying that, she glanced at me. I immediately sat down and pretended I had not heard. Yang Jian said, "Let's keep the stakes low. 2 yuan a round." Wang Shanshan's expression froze. 2 yuan. Yang Jian asked. "Too little for you." Wang Shanshan immediately sat up straight. "Not at all. That is pretty thrilling." 10 minutes later, Wang Shanshan had lost several rounds in a row. Staring at her dwindling pile of chips, she looked utterly miserable. "Wait, why do I keep losing?" Yang Jian drawled. "Bad tiles can be blamed on luck. Bad skills? Blame yourself." Wang Shanshan laughed in exasperation. "Has your mouth always been this vicious? Poor people have no money, so all we can do is sharpen our tongues." That actually made me laugh. Wang Shanshan refused to accept her loss. She took out her phone and messaged Shen Buyu. At first, I did not think much of it. Then I drew a 1 of bamboo tile. Her eyes suddenly lit up. She lowered her head and typed quickly. My heart skipped a beat. "What did you send Shen Buyu?" Wang Shanshan looked innocent, reporting the game status. Less than a minute later, the game room door opened. Shen Buyu stood in the doorway, her coat draped over one arm. She had clearly come looking for me. She looked at me first, then at Wang Shanshan. "Where is it?" Wang Shanshan pushed the 1 of bamboo tile into the middle of the table. "Here. Your boyfriend just touched another person's little bird." The entire room fell silent. I looked at that Mahjong tile and finally understood what situation she had reported. Shen Buyu stared at Wang Shanshan. Wang Shanshan immediately raised her hands. "Just a joke to lighten the mood." Shen Buyu sneered. "Is it funny?" Wang Shanshan instantly backed down. "Not funny." Yang Jian added from beside her. "It was not that funny." Wang Shanshan glared at him. "Shut up." Shen Buyu did not take me away. She walked behind me, pulled out a chair, and sat down. One hand rested on the back of my chair. Wang Shanshan looked at her hand, then at me. She wisely kept quiet. Wang Shanshan carefully asked, "So, Are we still playing? Shen Buyu said. We are. She glanced at the table. New rules. Yang Jian asked. What rules? Shen Buyu said. Couples Mahjong. Wang Shanshan immediately perked up. That name alone sounds expensive. Shen Buyu said unhurriedly. We play in pairs. Any money Fang Xiu wins goes to him. Any money Fang Xiu loses, I will pay. Any money Yang Jian wins goes to him. Any money Yang Jian loses, Wang Shanshan pays. Wang Shanshan applauded. Fair enough. Yang Jian looked at her. Are you sure? Wang Shanshan lifted her chin. I have money to spare. Shen Buyu added. 1 million yuan per round. The tiles nearly slipped from my hand. Yang Jian fell silent. 2. Wang Shanshan sucked in a breath. Then she became even more excited. Let's do it. I quickly covered Shen Buyu's hand with mine. Do not make the stakes so high. What if I lose? Shen Buyu turned her hand over and held mine. However much you lose, I will pay. I lowered my voice. It is not about the money. She leaned a little closer. Then, what is it about? I had no answer. Shen Buyu continued. Fang Xiu, if I do not spend my money on you, who else should I spend it on? My ears instantly burned. Across the table, Wang Shanshan rubbed her arms. Could you spare a thought for the person losing money? The game started again. Shen Buyu sat down. Wang Shanshan silently put back the tile she had just drawn. Just moments ago, she had been flirting with Yang Jian while drawing tiles. Now, she even looked to Shen Buyu before deciding whether to claim a tile. Yang Jian was the calmest one there. He arranged his tiles and did not forget to remind them. Let us be clear. I will only play by the rules. Wang Shanshan immediately replied. Of course, I like rule followers best. Yang Jian glanced at her. You could not even tell east, south, west, and north apart earlier. I almost laughed again. Shen Buyu lowered her gaze to my tiles, then suddenly pointed at one of them. Discard this one. I asked quietly. You know how to play Mahjong? She countered. Is it difficult? Wang Shanshan immediately complained from across the table. She has always been like this. She only needs to see something twice to learn it. It is incredibly annoying. Shen Buyu ignored her. She simply rested her hand on the back of my chair again. I discarded the tile she indicated. On the next turn, Yang Jian had just drawn a tile. When his expression shifted, Wang Shanshan immediately leaned in. You are about to win, are you not? Yang Jian covered his tiles. Looking at another player's tiles earns a penalty. Wang Shanshan was stunned. That is a rule? Yang Jian said. It is now. Yang Jian left Wang Shanshan speechless. In the end, she could only take out her phone. Fine. How much is the penalty? Yang Jian held up to fingers. Wang Shanshan said. 2 million. 20 yuan. Wang Shanshan was silent for a long moment. Finally, she transferred him 20 yuan. Keep the change. Yang Jian looked at the payment notice and said seriously. Thank you. That is enough for a late-night snack. This time, Wang Shanshan genuinely laughed. Afterward, her gaze toward Yang Jian softened considerably. I won the first round. Wang Shanshan had discarded the tile that let me win. She stared at the tiles on the table. For 2 seconds, she said nothing. Yang Jian asked, still short on money, are you? Wang Shanshan gritted her teeth. I am not short on money. I am short on lives. She pulled out her phone to transfer the money. Shen Buyu immediately held out her payment code. Send it to me. Wang Shanshan froze. You are guarding against me, too? Shen Buyu said. Fang Xiu doesn't add women he doesn't know. Wang Shanshan laughed in exasperation. How many years have we known each other? Shen Buyu said. To him, you're a woman he doesn't know. Wang Shanshan was completely defeated. She obediently transferred the money to him. The payment notification had barely sounded when my phone rang. 2. Shen Buyu transferred a million yuan to me. I stared at the amount. Was it not 1 million? She said. Double the happiness. Rich people's happiness is a real public nuisance. I tried to send it back. She immediately tapped reject. I looked up at her. It is too much. Shen Buyu's expression turned slightly colder. Why are you drawing such a clear line between us? As soon as those words left her mouth, my fingers stopped. It is not that I think the money is too much. I simply was not used to her being like this, constantly placing things in my hands. Whether it was money or affection or protection, she gave it all to directly. So, directly that I always felt unable to accept it. Shen Buyu did not pressure me. She only said, just keep it for now. In the end, I lowered my phone. Then I will hold on to it for you. She corrected me. Not for me. It is yours. I did not want to argue with her anymore. In the rounds that followed, my luck kept getting better. Shen Buyu sat behind me. She occasionally lowered her head to look at my tiles, and sometimes deliberately discarded a tile that let me win. Every time she did, Wang Shanshan suffered. When Shen Buyu discarded another one bamboo, I happened to win. She raised an eyebrow and asked me, do you like this one? I immediately became wary. Could you act normal? She laughed. What is abnormal about me? I said nothing. Across the table, Wang Shanshan covered her eyes. Shen Buyu, you are unbelievably annoying when you are in love. Yang Jian looked at her. Did you not say you were interested in me? Wang Shanshan immediately lowered her hands. Oh, right? She looked like she regretted speaking. After several rounds, I had won quite a bit. Yang Jian had won a decent sum too. Wang Shanshan claimed she had money to spare, but she still stared at Yang Jian while making the transfer. You really are not going to come for me. Yang Jian pocketed the money. Thank you, boss. Wang Shanshan almost burst out laughing. You really never take a loss, do you? Yang Jian said. Poor kids can't eat, but we cannot afford to take a loss. Wang Shanshan looked at him. This time, she did not tease him further. She put away her phone. Fine. Keep it. Buy yourself something tasty. Yang Jian paused. I paused too. I had to admit, when she was not being so obnoxious, she seemed almost human. But before I could take another look, Shen Buyu had already stood up. She glanced at the time. 11:40. My heart sank. Oh no. I had promised to return at 11. I was 40 minutes late. Shen Buyu looked down at me. Got you. Fang Xiu. I tried to explain. The game had not ended yet. She hummed an acknowledgement. That is why I came to get you myself. Then, in front of everyone, she took my hand. She pulled me up from the chair. Wang Shanshan waved from behind us. Go on. Go on. If you do not leave now, Miss Shen is going to tear down the game room. Shen Buyu turned to look at her. Wang Shanshan immediately shut up. On the way back to our room, I tried to send the money back again. Shen Buyu did not even look at the phone. I am not accepting it. I said, this money was only part of your game. She stopped walking. Fang Xiu. I looked up. She asked, I treat you well. Are you not used to it? I had no answer. Shen Buyu did not wait for my reply. She held my hand and continued walking. It is fine. You will get used to it. I had just breathed a sigh of relief. When she added, the money, the house, the shares, and me. You will have to get used to all of it. My ears began burning again. Could you stop saying things like that? Shen Buyu asked. Which things? I could not explain. She chuckled. Then I will put it another way. I thought she had actually listened. But the moment we entered the room, she leaned down and whispered in my ear. Fang Xiu. Everything I have is yours. I immediately pulled the blanket over my head. I did not want to deal with her. The next morning, the estate activities ended. Everyone returned to school together. News of Lin Shangyuan being taken away spread quickly. Those people making snide remarks on the forum went quiet remarkably fast this time. Some said only that he had caused trouble at the estate. Shen Buyu's people had taken him in for questioning. Others said he had nearly gotten someone killed. Someone even dug up the accounts he had used to insult me in the past. They posted screenshots of them on the forum, one after another. When I returned to the dorm, Yang Jian was sitting in a chair, scrolling through his phone. He held out the screen. Look, all of Lin Shangyuan's old posts have been dug up. I glanced at them, accusing me of pretending to be superior, of using my looks to seduce people, and saying the former campus heartthrob was nothing special. The insults were truly vicious, but this time, they did not affect me. Maybe after seeing last night how Shen Buyu dealt with people, these bitter words from behind a screen suddenly did not seem so frightening. Seeing that I was silent, Yang Jian thought I was upset. Stop looking. The school is already handling it. He is not coming back this time. I handed the phone back to him. I am fine. The moment I finished speaking, someone peeked around the dormitory doorway. It was a boy from the neighboring class. He looked as if he wanted to come in, but awkwardly stopped when he saw me. Fang Xiu. About what happened on the forum. Please do not take it to heart. I looked at him. For a moment, I could not remember who he was. He looked even more embarrassed. I used to go along with Lin Shangyuan and leave likes under those posts. I did not know he was that unhinged back then. Yang Jian gave a cold laugh. You liked the post, and you still claim you did not know. The boy's face flushed. I only came to apologize. I had no intention of arguing with him. He was not especially malicious, but he had still piled on when everyone else did. I only said, do not blindly join others in insulting people from now on. He hurriedly nodded. He apologized several times before leaving. The moment the door closed, Yang Jian turned his chair around. You are way too nice. I said, what else was I supposed to do? Throw him in the pool too? Yang Jian thought about it. Shen Buyu might actually do that. He said it so sincerely that I could not even argue. Then my phone buzzed again. Shen Buyu sent me a screenshot. It was the school's disciplinary notice. Lin Shangyuan had been suspended pending investigation. All forum accounts involved had been banned. They will also need to cooperate with the police going forward. Below the screenshot, she had sent only one sentence. Are you satisfied now? I stared at those words for several seconds before replying. You work incredibly fast. Shen Buyu replied instantly. Anyone who bullies you, even 1 second is too long for me. I held my phone, speechless for a long while. Yang Jian leaned over and saw the message. Quietly, he pushed his chair farther away. Fine. I am clearly the third wheel. Not long after, the class group chat became lively too. The advisor sent out a notice, saying the school would cooperate with the investigation, and telling everyone not to spread unverified information. As soon as the notice was sent, the chat fell silent for over 10 seconds. Then someone cautiously asked, so, Is Lin Shangyuan not coming back? No one dared answer. A few more seconds passed. Somehow, Wang Shanshan had joined the group chat. She sent one blunt message. No idea if he is coming back, but his family's lawyers are pretty busy right now. The group chat instantly became even quieter. Yang Jian stared at the screen. How did she get in here? I have no idea. The next second, Wang Shanshan sent me a private message. Do not get the wrong idea. I am not here for you. I am here for Yang Jian. I handed my phone to Yang Jian. His expression turned complicated after reading it. What does she want with me? I said. Maybe she wants to continue this perfectly reasonable diversion. Yang Jian gave my phone back. Tell her to redirect herself somewhere farther away. Before I could reply, Wang Shanshan's second message arrived. Ask Yang Jian, are we still playing Mahjong for T1 around tonight? I practiced all morning. Yang Jian sneered. What did she practice? I said, Mahjong. Yang Jian said, she could not even tell Chow's, Peng's, and Kong's apart last night. A third message immediately popped up. And tell him, I already know how to use Chow's, Peng's, and Kong's. Yang Jian fell silent. Did she install surveillance cameras in our dorm or something? Yang Jian pushed his chair back. No, I am not playing. I was just about to reply when he added, unless she is still playing for T1. I looked at him. Weren't you not playing? Yang Jian's expression did not change. T1 is still money. I sent his exact words. Wang Shanshan replied quickly. Fine. I will bring my massive to 100 yuan tonight. When Yang Jian saw the words massive fortune, the corner of his mouth twitched. She was seriously annoying. But when he returned my phone, his expression was clearly less annoyed than before. He complained out loud, but his hand was already adding tonight's T1 game to his reminders. Shen Buyu's approach was absurd, but it actually worked a little. Yang Jian studied me for several seconds. Shen Buyu did not bully you last night, did she? I nearly choked on my water. The words from the hallway last night immediately sprang to mind. Everything I have is yours. My ears grew hot. No. Yang Jian narrowed his eyes. Then why are you blushing? I stood up. It is warm. Yang Jian glanced at the overcast sky outside. Now, I did not want to discuss this anymore. There were no classes that afternoon. I had planned to catch up on sleep. But the moment I lay down, a message from Shen Buyu came in. She said the driver was downstairs. I asked where we were going. She replied, home. I stared at those two words for a long time. Home. I had never agreed to move in with her. Yet she had already sent a driver downstairs. In the end, I went downstairs and got in the car. The moment I settled in, the driver handed me an insulated bag from the front passenger seat. Mr. Fang, President Shen asked you to have something to eat first. I opened it. Inside was warm milk, along with a box of sliced fruit. Most outrageous of all, there was a note beside it. It was written in Shen Buyu's handwriting. Do not sleep on an empty stomach. I stared at the note for a few seconds, suddenly unsure whether to laugh or be annoyed. She was not even in the car, yet she was still managing me from afar. The driver glanced at me through the rearview mirror and added tactfully, President Shen said if you do not eat, she will personally watch you eat when we arrive at the villa. Quietly, I put in the straw. Fine. I will eat. The milk was still warm. There was even a fork in the fruit box. The strawberry tops had all been removed. I looked at the box, of everything arranged down to the last detail. The more I looked, the more it seemed this was not a last-minute order from Shen Buyu. She had probably calculated long ago when I would come downstairs, what should be in the car, and whether I would have enough time to finish before reaching the villa. I used to think her forcefulness was suffocating, but now I realized, when she got forceful, she did not leave much room to refuse even when caring for someone. Then again, I was in her car, and I suspected that even if I were not in her car, Shen Buyu would still find a way to know whether I had eaten. Half an hour later, I sat on the couch in Shen Buyu's villa, scrolling through videos. At first, it was a comedy blogger making silly faces. It seemed perfectly normal. Then the video abruptly changed, revealing a female influencer with a great figure, demonstrating a workout. Before I could react, my phone was snatched away. Shen Buyu stood behind the couch. She glanced down at the screen. You were watching very intently. I immediately said, I just came across it. She glanced at the progress bar. 17 seconds. Wait, how did she even count that? Shen Buyu held my phone face down in her hand. Do you like watching this? I shook my head. No. She asked, you do not like it, yet you watched for 17 seconds. I forced myself to say. I was checking whether her form was correct. Shen Buyu looked at me. My voice grew quieter and quieter. Really? She gave my phone back. Then she turned and headed downstairs. Then come study mine. I froze. Study what? Without looking back, Shen Buyu said, the gym. I immediately shoved my phone back into my pocket. Actually, I did not really want to study anything. Shen Buyu stopped. She looked back at me. Too late. I tried to resist. I just got back from school today. She glanced out the window. It takes half an hour to get here from school. I kept making excuses. I nearly drowned yesterday. Shen Buyu nodded. Then we will only do something easy. I said I did not know how. She said, I will teach you. I fell silent. Great. When she cornered someone, she left no way out. I immediately started to panic. I had seen the gym on the villa's first floor. It had enough equipment to work someone into the ground. I stood frozen at the door. I do not know how to use any of it. Shen Buyu said, I'll teach you. I tried another excuse. I have not fully recovered yet. She nodded. Then we will not do anything strenuous. Great. She had shut down every excuse. Shen Buyu brought over a yoga ball, then laid out a mat. She was dressed simply today. The moment she took off her jacket, she looked impossibly sleek and sharp. I had barely glanced at her. When she spoke, I thought you did not like looking at me. I immediately looked away. I looked at the ball. She patted it and said, Come here. After I sat on it, Shen Buyu held my waist, teaching me to slowly lean back. This was much harder than it looked. The moment I moved, the ball nearly rolled away. I quickly grabbed her wrist. Shen Buyu looked down. Do not be afraid. I have got you. She said she was supporting me, but her hand stayed clasped around my waist. Do not stand so close. Shen Buyu countered. If I do not stay close and you fall, who is responsible? I thought about it. I could not argue with that. After practicing for half an hour, I could finally keep myself steady. More precisely, I could finally do it without gripping her wrist, keeping the ball from rolling away. Shen Buyu was quite serious about it. Whenever my posture was slightly off, she reached out to straighten me. My waist, my shoulders, my back. Not once did she correct me without touching me. I held it in and held it in, but I could not take it anymore. Shen Buyu, are you taking advantage of this? She looked completely unbothered. I am teaching you. What kind of teaching requires holding someone's waist the whole time? Shen Buyu thought for a moment. The Shen family does. That excuse was so typically Shen. Just as I tried to get off the ball, it suddenly tipped sideways. I slid right along with it. Shen Buyu reacted quickly. She caught me in her arms. She looked down at me. Still want to get down. I was still in her arms. I did not even have the nerve to keep bluffing. Not for now. She looked satisfied. Good boy. Shen Buyu told me to rest, then went aside to warm up. I sat on the mat, drinking water. I had only meant to take a quick look, but after she did a few moves, I got lost watching her. As I watched, I suddenly remembered her diving into the pool yesterday. Everyone had been shouting then, but she was the only one who went straight into the water. No hesitation, no questions. She simply swam right toward me. Shen Buyu turned around. What are you thinking about? I quickly lowered my head and took a drink. Nothing. She walked over and crouched before me. Thinking about the pool again? I said nothing. She did not press me further. She simply stood up and switched to something easier. Like what? She said, I will do push-ups. You count for me. Before I could react, she was already in position on the mat. I sat beside her and counted. 1, 2, 3. Everything was normal at first, but when I reached 10, she came a little closer each time she lowered herself. By 15, she simply paused right in front of me. Why did you stop counting? Only then did I realize I had gotten distracted again. I immediately said, 15. Shen Buyu smiled. Was my form good? I forced myself to answer. Pretty good. She asked, better than the one in that video? I nearly choked on my water. Why are you still holding that over me? Shen Buyu continued her push-ups. I have a good memory. As I kept counting, my voice grew softer. She was not tired at all. After finishing the set, she casually handed me my water. Have you seen enough? I immediately denied it. I was not looking. Shen Buyu hummed. Then one more set. She was definitely doing it on purpose. Later, she taught me how to do a plank. I thought it would be easy, but before I even reached 30 seconds, my arms began to shake. Shen Buyu crouched beside me, watching the time. 20 seconds left. I gritted my teeth. I cannot do it, she said. A man can't say he can't do it. I almost cracked up. Shen Buyu smiled. 10 seconds left. I forced myself through the final second. The moment I collapsed, she caught me in her arms. She wiped the sweat from my temple. Not bad. I was too tired to move. Your standards for not bad are really low, Shen Buyu said. I did not mean your form was good. I looked up at her. She added leisurely. I meant you were very obedient. I stopped talking. Even when she spoke normally, it sounded like she was teasing me. I sat on the mat, catching my breath. Shen Buyu picked up a bottle of water, unscrewed it, and held it to my lips. I reached for it, but she would not let me take it, so I had no choice but to drink from her hand. As soon as I finished, she wiped the corner of my mouth with her thumb. I immediately leaned back. I can wipe it myself, Shen Buyu said. It was instinctive. I looked at her. You seem to have a lot of instinctive habits. She hummed in agreement. You will get used to them. Lately, she seemed especially fond of making me get used to things. Her money, her care, her habit of getting close whenever she pleased. Yet every time she came close, I reacted so strongly. It was pathetic. To keep her from noticing, I could only lower my head and fuss with my shoelaces. Shen Buyu watched me for a moment. Then she suddenly asked, Fang Xiu, why are your ears red again? I said I was hot. She glanced at the air conditioner. 22 degrees. There really was no privacy in this house. When we left the gym, my legs were like jelly. Shen Buyu lifted me into her arms. I immediately grabbed her shoulders. Put me down. She asked, your legs are not weak. I stubbornly said, they are not. She actually loosened her hold a little. I nearly slipped down. I hurriedly clung to her. Shen Buyu looked down. Not weak, huh? I shut up as she carried me to the bathroom door. The moment I saw where we were going, I got wary. I can wash myself, Shen Buyu said. I never said I was joining you. I did not believe her. She had far too many past offenses. Shen Buyu raised a hand. I will not tease you this time. I am just afraid you will fall. I stared at her for a few seconds. Reluctantly, I believed her. As it turned out, I trusted her too soon. She did not tease me right away. She went into the bathroom first to test the water and laid down a non-slip mat. Then she naturally came back inside. I stood in the doorway. Get out. Shen Buyu looked at me. I have not even taken my clothes off. What are you afraid of? That left me speechless. She led me inside and had me sit on the edge of the tub. She used a towel to wipe the sweat from my arms. Her movements were perfectly proper. I had only just begun to relax when she suddenly asked, were you scared today? My fingers froze briefly. It is much better now, I said. She hummed. If you are scared again, tell me. I asked quietly. What good would telling you do? Shen Buyu looked up. I'll be there. Just 2 words. Yet they worked better than endless reassurance. I fell silent at once. She rinsed the towel again. Just as she was about to wring it out, she suddenly frowned. I asked, what is wrong? She pointed at her eye. Soap got in it. I immediately grabbed a clean towel. Do not rub it. I will wipe it for you. Shen Buyu obediently lowered her head. I leaned in and wiped the corner of her eye. The moment I finished, she suddenly opened her eyes. We were far too close. Only then did I realize. Did you do that on purpose? Shen Buyu did not deny it. She took hold of my wrist and pressed my hand to her chest. Fang Xiu, my eye hurts. I stared at her. If your eye hurts, why are you pressing my hand here? Shen Buyu replied with a straight face. This hurts too. She made me laugh in exasperation. You just said you would not tease me. She lowered her head and kissed my fingertips. I couldn't help it. When Shen Buyu said she would not tease me, it could last 3 minutes at most. If she made it past 3 minutes, it meant she had tried and failed. I tried to pull my hand away, but she held my lower back. She did not press me down, only drew me a little closer. She asked, is this okay? I had wanted to refuse, but this time, she asked so sincerely. She was not fooling around or pressuring me. She simply waited for me to nod. After a few seconds of silence, in the end, I gave a quiet yes. Only then did Shen Buyu lower her head and kiss me. This time, she kissed me very slowly, so slowly that I was a little stiff at first. Then, clutching the hem of her clothes, I gradually relaxed. Not until the phone outside began ringing did I turn my head away. The phone. Shen Buyu did not want to let go. Ignore it. I pushed her. What if it is urgent? Only then did she go out for her phone. Not long after, she returned with a cold expression. I asked, what is wrong? She held the screen out to me. It was a message from Wang Shanshan. A production crew is filming at school tomorrow. I heard people from Xing'an will be there too. Your Fang Xiu had better not wander off. I was still processing the name Xing'an when Shen Buyu had already put her phone away. I will take you to school tomorrow. I said, you do not need to go to all that trouble. Shen Buyu looked at me. Fang Xiu, some people are more trouble than Lin Shangyuan. Who? Shen Buyu did not answer right away. She turned off her phone screen, then hung the towel back up. She was in no hurry to speak. I gripped the edge of the towel in my hand tighter. Water dripped through my fingers onto the floor. I had wrinkled the towel's corner in my grip. I asked again, does this have something to do with Xing'an? Only then did Shen Buyu speak. Zhao Jinting, Xing'an's owner. I had never heard that name. But if Shen Buyu felt the need to warn me about him, he was definitely not someone to cross. I asked, does he have a grudge against you? Shen Buyu said, not exactly. She paused. It is just that his methods are underhanded. I wanted to ask more, but Shen Buyu reached out and held the back of my neck, drawing me a little closer to her. She said, when you get to school tomorrow, do not go anywhere secluded alone. If anyone comes looking for you, call me first. Her words made me a little uncomfortable. I am not a child. Shen Buyu looked at me. With me, you can be. She said it with complete seriousness. I did not know how to respond. She stroked my head, her voice softening. But do not be afraid. I looked up at her. She had already clasped her phone tightly again. Her knuckles had gone a little white. The edge of the screen creaked softly in her grip. She paused. This time, I won't let anyone get near you while you're alone. Before I went to school the next day, Shen Buyu pulled up outside the house. She even rolled down the window to look at me. Message me when you get to school. I looked down at my phone and discovered she had already enabled location sharing. Shen Buyu, are you taking me to school or escorting a suspect? Shen Buyu leaned against her seat, looking calm. Suspects do not attract nearly as much trouble as you. For a moment, I could not argue with that. After all, from Lin Shangyuan to Zhao Jinting, the people I had encountered lately really had been stranger than the last. Before I entered the school gates, Shen Buyu called out to me again. Fang Xiu. I turned around. She handed me a backup phone. Put this in your bag. Do not turn it off. I looked at the new phone. The protest in my heart had barely surfaced before her next words crushed it. Zhao Jinting may not come after you directly, but he will definitely use you against me. That was even more blunt than what she had said last night. I took the phone and slipped it into my backpack's inner compartment. Fine. If anything happens, I will call you first. Only then did Shen Buyu give a quiet hum. Her fingertips tapped lightly against the car window. Do not try to tough it out. I waved and headed inside. But the moment I reached the classroom building, Wang Shanshan rushed over from the side, clutching her textbooks. She circled me once. Fang Xiu, why are you looking so polished today? I looked down at myself. White shirt, black jacket. Even my backpack had been replaced with a new one by Shen Buyu. The controlling streak that comes with money. Don't ask. Wang Shanshan snorted. Your president Shen dressed you like you are headed to a blind date. I was just about to tell her to shut up when a commotion suddenly broke out on the field. Students were rushing toward Woodon Path. Some held up their phones to take photos. Others were so excited they nearly spilled milk tea on their friends. Wang Shanshan immediately stood on tiptoe. The film crew is here. I heard Jingbei is filming at school today too. The name Jingbei sounded vaguely familiar, but before I could remember why, Wang Shanshan was already dragging me into the crowd. I did not want to go, but as she squeezed through, she looked back. Do not wander off. President Shen told me to keep an eye on you, did she not? I paused. So I had a human surveillance camera beside me too. Along Woodon Path, the crew had already set up their equipment. The director used a megaphone to assign positions. Several staff members ran back and forth carrying reflectors. At the center of the crowd stood a woman in a baseball cap. Its brim was pulled low, revealing only half her face. Yet just standing there, the surrounding students' cameras instinctively turned toward her. Shanshan could not contain her excitement. Jingbei. It really is Jingbei. She is even prettier in person than on camera. I glanced over. I did not think much of it. People from the entertainment world were far removed from me. Right now, I only wanted to get through class safely, without causing Shen Buyu any more trouble. But some trouble cannot be avoided just because you want to hide from it. Someone suddenly called to me from behind. Fang Xiu. The voice was not loud, yet it sounded as though it had been spoken right into my ear. I turned around. A man in a dark suit stood in the shade beneath the trees. He looked refined, and even his smile seemed perfectly respectable. But the instant I saw him, my hand was already reaching for the backup phone in my backpack, because the bodyguards stood behind him, and because the name Shen Buyu had mentioned last night had now come to stand before me. Zhao Jinting. He noticed my movement. Not only did he not stop me, he smiled. Shen Buyu taught you well. You are quite alert. I gripped the phone tightly in my hand. I did not step back. What can I do for you, President Zhao? He seemed amused by that form of address. He looked me over leisurely. You are with Shen Buyu. By seniority, you should call me cousin. I nearly choked on that. Shen Buyu and I are not even married yet, and you have already taken up the role of cousin. Zhao Jinting's smile faded slightly. Wang Shanshan was too frightened to interrupt, but her fingers were already opening to chat windows at lightning speed. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw that she had sent Shen Buyu only one message. Zhao Jinting is at school. He has cornered Fang Xiu. Good. This surveillance camera was not entirely useless after all. Zhao Jinting took a step forward. His gaze fell on my neck. Shen Buyu certainly doesn't hold back when it comes to you. In the past, anything she set her sights on, she would never have put it on display so easily. What exactly are you trying to say? He looked at me, then suddenly lowered his voice. Fang Xiu, you really think that just because she's so docile with you, she is truly a good person? I said nothing. When she dealt with Lin Shangyuan, did you not see it? That is who she really is. She likes you now, so she is willing to indulge you. But when she no longer does, do you think you will end up any better than Lin Shangyuan? If he had said that before, I might truly have let my thoughts run wild. But now, I only looked at him for a few seconds, then turned on my phone screen. I said, President Zhao, could you do some research before trying to drive us apart? Zhao Jinting raised an eyebrow. I showed him Shen Buyu's location sharing screen. I know exactly what she is like. She protects her own. She holds grudges. She is possessive, and she has a bad temper. But at least she does not beat around the bush, hiding beneath trees to intimidate college students. Wang Shanshan could not hold it in any longer. She burst out laughing. Zhao Jinting's smile vanished completely. I took another half step back, ending up at the edge of the crowd. And if you want to hear me call you cousin, go ask Shen Buyu yourself. If she acknowledges it, then I will consider it. Zhao Jinting stared at me for a long time. Finally, he gave a soft laugh. Interesting. After saying that, his gaze moved past me and landed on the production sign nearby. Fang Xiu, we will see each other again soon. I paused. The next second, he had already turned and left. Wang Shanshan immediately rushed over. Are you okay? I was about to call security. Before I could answer, my phone began to vibrate. It was Shen Buyu. When I answered, her steady voice came through the line. Fang Xiu, stay where you are. Do not move. I looked toward the school gates. A black sedan had already pulled up. The door opened. Shen Buyu stepped out, with half of wood on path between us. She saw me standing unharmed among the crowd. Only then did her steps slow slightly. But she did not look first toward where Zhao Jinting had gone. She came straight to me. Her eyes swept over me from head to toe. I am really fine. Shen Buyu reached out and straightened my jacket collar. Her touch was gentle, but her voice was low. If he approaches you again, do not try to reason with him. Then, what should I say? Shen Buyu watched Zhao Jinting's retreating figure. Talk about evidence. Talk about reporting him to the police. Talk about bringing his company to a standstill that very day. Good. Now that was more